There we go.
Hey, good afternoon, morning, whatever the fuck it is, Wooly. How you doing?
Hello. Not too bad. I have a question that I've asked before, and I'm going to ask it again at the start of this podcast.
Ask
and,
away.
In light of recent news, I want you to think long and hard about your answer. Okay? What the fuck is Kingdom Hearts? Truly, once and again, I ask you, what is Kingdom Hearts?
There's two answers here, right? And I can answer the first of which, minor spoiler for a game that came out in fucking 2005. Kingdom Hearts is light. Period. That like all the facsimiles, all the here and there, and the key to darkness, and all of this fucking shit. Kingdom Hearts is light, and more metaphorically,
Friendship.
Kingdom Hearts is the light of naive childhood.
Okay.
It is a metaphor for like the unbridled optimism and like joy of a small child.
All right. Pin placed.
Right. That is like in universe what Kingdom Hearts is. Kingdom Hearts is also a remarkably scattered example of Square's and Square Enix's long-term nonsense with using their IP in random places in ways that damage the property long-term overall.
Ah! Okay. Because I am trying to now take the concept of light and the innocence of childhood and ascribe that to deep-sea diving astronauts pulling out keyblades and fighting a giant darkness kaiju.
That's fine. That's cool.
What?
I assume that's about. I assume that's about that canceled mobile thing or whatever.
Sure. And I see a bunch of like masked faces, and I go, "All right, we need contrivances to allow a multiplayer crew of non-characters to hang out together." But like, what is that though?
So like
Missing Link, this canceled game that has now leaked
I can tell
onto the online with footage of its intro.
As far as I can tell, what's because I've done one Chain of Memories and two. One Chain of Memories 2, and I played a 0 a while back, Birth by Sleep. And from what I can tell, the trajectory of Kingdom Hearts into like occasionally including like edgy stuff and cool guy stuff is ascribed to like aging up of the characters and the things that those characters care about and the types of feelings you would have as you go from being, I don't know, 8 years old to 10 years old to 13 years old to 15 years old, and so on and so forth. And that explains that. That's why like Sora's got to be like 16 or a fucking adult when you see him in Kingdom Hearts 4. And that's why he's having little Shibuya adventures and everything's hyper realistic and kind of like you look at the Kingdom Hearts 4 stuff and you're like, wow, a lot of the magic is gone here. It looks so Unreal Engine and shiny. It's like, yeah, because you're a fucking man now.
You're on the edge of getting out of high school.
It's not big smiles and hugs every day.
And that works fine in retrospect. I'm just kind of curious when the trailer for this leaked thing that got canceled comes out. I sort of assume that, like, if I see a bunch of characters with the masks on and the kind of outfit and the astronaut suit.
Well, that's about the Master of Masters and the Keyblade War and all this shit.
Yes. And...
so, like, one of the funny things that happens in Kingdom Hearts is that one of the ways they get around changing their retcons is just... the guy who told you that shit earlier was wrong.
Okay.
Like
people
like
are
a guy will tell
unreliable
you
narrators.
Someone will explain, oh, this is how it works. And then later you're like, no, that guy was just wrong. That's not how that works at all. Mm-hmm. So, like, the biggest one is there is a Keyblade and it chooses its wielder. That's not even true by the end of Kingdom Hearts 1. Like, you don't even get to the end of the game before that's wrong.
Okay. And I guess then it's also whatever it wants to be, seeing as it involves different characters, different worlds and settings and tones. And I will say that, like, watching that trailer, I kind of expected that, like, at some point the characters, like, lights and the masks would turn on and you'd see some faces and they'd be like, they'd be doing the thing of like, hey, we're in a particular setting where the characters you recognize or some other new ones are talking to each other, and then they have to go into some sort of darkness hole or something. I was quite surprised that was just a sincere attempt at, like, your faceless protagonist character and a couple of other online buddies are going to pull out keyblades and fight against the darkness, and you two are doing something that might or may not affect what's happening in Kingdom Hearts 4, because at the end
it will, and
it all disappears and goes back to Shibuya.
So the way that Kingdom Hearts has been handled, so everyone would make fun of it because every game would come out on a different platform, right? Oh, here's a PlayStation 2 game, here's a GBA game, here's a PS2 game, here's a PSP game, here's a 3DS game, here's a a DS game, now a 3D, so on and so forth. And all of them are like 80%, 90% retreads after 2. But they always have like one or two details that are like, oh, I hope you know this going into Kingdom Hearts Placenta by Ocean or whatever.
Sure. And right? Listen, yeah.
And they put out that Kingdom Hearts like pack that's like everything that matters combined into like one big super collection, right? And everyone was like, great, I'm glad we're all done with this. And then they fucking started up with the mobile game nonsense. There is more... There appears to be more dialogue, voice acting, and story in Kingdom Hearts UX, also pronounced KHUX if you prefer,
right?
Than all of the other games combined. An unpopular mobile game, which I think is now like defunct and unplayable, so you would have to go look up the cutscenes. So
this is why this is even a conversation, because if this were any other franchise, I would have been like, oh yeah, sure, it's that Persona 5X mobile game. Nothing big, no big deal. It's some other shit. Although, check it out, there's the Subway Slammer in it, and also a bunch of other really sick characters. Side note, have you seen? There's like a teacher main protagonist, and then there's like an old lady.
Yeah, I've seen,
that has a bunch of like adult characters that are rad Phantom Thieves style designs that I'm like, oh, I would love that in a mainline game, because they're not students. Then that's really interesting. Anyway, sidebar. But because this is Kingdom Hearts, I know that even though it's canceled, whatever those fucking astronaut Keyblade users was canon as fuck. And not only that, probably crucial.
This is the part that sucks the worst.
That was super important.
I believe you're completely right. So, Kingdom Hearts 4, like, you play through, like, FF7 Rebirth, and there's, like, Ever Crisis stuff in there, by the way. Which Ever Crisis is also shutting down. So, good luck not knowing who the fuck Glenn is, because I sure didn't, and now you never fucking will. Kingdom Hearts 4 has been in development for a while. So whatever the fuck was supposed to be in Missing Link is the fucking KH4 is going to just like, oh, remember that shit from Missing Link? And I'm going to go, no.
It never happened, but it did, but it didn't. We were going to show it to you, but we didn't anymore.
What if, let me give you a universe in which before Crisis, Final Fantasy VII, wasn't just a spin-off game that you'd let you know a little bit more about the Turks and the Avalanche. It was like a core plot point of, FF7. And let's say Advent Children did too.
Right.
And that turned out to be the case.
Planned in advance, yeah.
Like the compilation of FF7 now kind of matters for Rebirth. But imagine instead of that being for FF7, that was for the concept of Final Fantasy. Oh, you didn't play fucking Chocobo's Mysterious Dungeon 2? Well, then you're not going to recognize that character.
Right. And
by the way, half of these games defunct, non-playable, out of date, non-emulatable. Yeah, Solidus points out that FF15 also had this issue. FF15 had like tons of extraneous stuff, including a really bad movie that bafflingly features stuff so cool that it wasn't allowed to be in the main game. Really bad anime.
Right. So because things are there, because FF7 exists and then everything was tacked on after the fact, you get to pick and choose whatever matters. But if we never, and we never will, hear of Genesis Rhapsodius ever again, it doesn't matter, right? Who gives a fuck? Whatever.
You're gonna hear about him.
Oh, God damn it! Shut the fuck up. Okay, you shut your whore mouth right now. That shit is over and done with. You fuck off. You fuck right off with your bullshit.
Bully, you are
Listen.
a clown right now. If you think
I don't know what
Genesis Rhapsodius will ever be just a memory.
Magical thinking will win the day, all right? Now
Bully,
listen.
I fought a motherfucking Dirge of Cerberus boss in fucking intergrade.
Fine.
Okay?
Fine.
You're gonna tell
that's
me,
not gacked.
If you fucking think Dirge of Cerberus gets to get in there and you're not gonna see some angiogenesis fucking shit, you're out. He's gonna be like the fucking secret boss.
Ironically, I wouldn't mind seeing Angeal for a second again. That would be fine. But the point is that you can take it or leave it. But every time something gets canceled in Kingdom Hearts,
it just continues on like it wasn't canceled.
To me, it's like that's a fucked up thing to do because that's a critical, crucial, main, super important canonical part of the story. Exactly. Like the way this thing has been told and the way I've learned everything about it, you can't cancel anything in Kingdom Hearts because it's all real and crucial.
I think there's a larger point to be made here, and I think that point is very simple. You, the viewer / consumer / person, are fucking stupid if you play a Square Enix mobile game. You are a rube. So, of the Square Enix mobile games we are talking about, KHUX is dead, Missing Link is canceled, Ever Crisis is doing end of service, what was the other one? Opera Omnia cooked.
You're not going back
the
to
Dissidia
before
one
Crisis?
has like a month to live for sure. FF14 mobile dead. Like they the Nier cooked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a window. You got a window of time to plug your credit card in, and there's a window of time for them to extract from it, and then that window closes.
It's like they. Instead of making one good mobile game, they have made 20 dead mobile games. You know what it is? You know how Square Enix treats mobile games? That good old standby. 9 women could have one baby in a month.
Sure.
If they all work together.
Yeah. All the bravest. Fucking before Crisis. Some things from a million years ago. I don't know, whatever. I can't speak to the profitability of any of that shit. I'm just saying...
Bad.
I'm just saying, the moment the word Kingdom Hearts is attached to said mobile game, the fact that everything in that becomes super important is so crazy to me. Oh, boy. Anyway. All right. Cool. I will continue to ask this question.
You're going to get to experience the Kingdom Hearts experience in FF7. What's the third one called? Revelation. When you run into cool guy, mysterious figure Glenn, whose entire storyline exists exclusively in the then canceled Ever Crisis.
Sure. Yeah, I would love to know what happens to... Okay. Whenever something... Because again, to go back to the canceled games or whatever the important beats are, like... A lot of the time, you're assuming you're supposed to reveal characters or things that fill out this story in a way that answers questions, I suppose. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming. So with something like Kingdom Hearts 4...
Kingdom Hearts is more excited to ask questions than answer them. That's the nature of that series.
Okay, so they're not going to just do like here comes the KH Wiki officially attached to the game, like Metal Gear or Guilty Gear.
You're just listen to your heart, bitch.
Okay, childhood doesn't have a wiki, right? Okay,
Yeah, dude.
all right, that's fine. How's it going?
It's going all right. Everything's good. The baby is incredible. Wife is good. Elmo as well, and of course, my man Caboose here to help me on the show. Thank you for helping, Caboose. This dog gave me a run for my money this week. Mm-hmm. He got through the gate and ran upstairs and ate an entire bowl of urinary cat food.
Oh, what?
So, I had to stay up with him because he kept drinking as much water as he could handle and then pissing like crazy.
Okay.
It's just cat food with extra salt in it.
So, is a boost breakout like a hard thing to stop? Because I would imagine you'd have a pretty easy time catching up.
So you were at our house, right? You see we have that baby gate on the stairs?
Yep.
The one that goes across?
Yep.
So if that thing is left open, he's up there. He can get up the whole staircase by himself. But here's the other trick. This dog has learned, because he's a rat, this dog has learned that if he leans against the baby gate when you're closing it, it has enough slack when you let it go that he can sneak underneath it.
That's really funny. That's
he'll
smart.
push, we have one of those baby gates that's like plastic fabric that you pull across and hook. But if he's pushing on it, it hooks with extra give.
That's pretty smart.
And then the day after that, he ate an unripe plum that fell into our yard from our neighbor's tree that was the size of a duck egg.
Oh.
And I didn't know about it until he barfed it up on me the following day. This dog-killing sized unripe egg. Because he's fucking stupid. He didn't even chew it,
I was going to say intact.
Intact.
God damn, dude. Okay.
Dog's so fucking stupid. I love him. Aside from that, I've been playing 14 with the gals, and I've been playing a lot of Pal World. Have you gotten back in at 1.0 for Pal World?
I don't think I'm going to. I think I had my fill of the beta, of the early access.
How much did you actually go for it?
I played hours of it, man. I built 3 bases and got things pretty efficiently. I've expanded and collected. I don't know how many pals, but it was a decent amount. I'm sure if I go check my hours, I did a couple streams and then I did some off streaming with it, and then I eventually just kind of was like, yeah, okay, I get it, and then I felt done.
So I've played it. I played it for 6 hours, I think. Back when it came out, the day it came out. Mm-hmm. And I have streamed it 4 times since then.
Okay, this says, I know this is a lie. This says 68, but that's not real. So I probably played 30 hours of it.
Okay. So you probably played, because you idle. You just walk away from games.
In some cases, but yeah.
And I'm in this weird thing where I'm playing it and I'm playing it with chat, right? Or rather, chat is with me. They're not in my game. And you keep seeing people go, "Oh wow, they changed that," various things. But what's more interesting is the stuff they didn't change. So, how the menus are all jank. Mm-hmm. When you played it, you're like, "Wow, they should really work on these menus."
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
They decided that you were wrong to think that. The way that the controller support will just freak out every 10 to 15 minutes and just have a huge glitch and all the keyboard prompts will come back and the resolution will dip a little bit. Nah,
nothing.
Don't need to change that.
Okay.
No, they focused on big and wide and feature and more.
It's crazy that DLC kind of expansions occurred in the non 1.0 version, and also things like what you're describing continue to be unaddressed.
One of the things that they did definitely change was that the game's view distance is to the horizon now. You can just see forever.
Okay.
You can see the boundaries of the map. and it hits you that they went absolutely fucking bananas with the map size, because I was explorating for quite a time, and then I discovered that after that gigantic mountain range that was on the horizon before, there's an entire landmass behind it on the other side.
Yes.
That also stretches all the way to the fucking horizon.
Yes, I made it to that landmass and explored that for a while, and I think around that's where I stopped, I think.
I feel like Palworld is like an incredibly fascinating game. I feel like it's trying to trick everyone into playing Factorio or Satisfactory. Like, yes, there's exploration. Yes, there's the pals. Yes, you do like Pokemon style shit. But like, bro, I'm building up a vertical bunker and adding extra floors to my base and surrounding it, and then min-maxing a bunch of like distances from mining to fucking smelting and eventually weapons manufacturing and just, right?
Have you gotten into like designing interiors to your buildings and setting up like
no. Last night I found a extraordinary like one of those spots that's just like there's sulfur, coal, rock, ore, like just all over the place in the spot. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna build here, but then I realized it would be really annoying to build around all these rocks, so I put foundations around all the rocks and then just built up a building that's 2 floors above all of the rocks with staircases going down, and just expanded outwards to create like essentially a mining platform.
Scaffolding. You make scaffolding. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that, as I did that, I realized that I like recreated a form of like Renaissance street architecture of those types of buildings like you'd see in England or Germany that have the small first floor and the really big second and third floors, like an inverted pyramid. They use the supports of like the longer things to stay up.
Okay.
And like, I think its biggest strength is its loop is kind of perfect, because like I tend to just drill down and do my base, and like I'm gonna build up all this infrastructure, and I'm gonna get all the new technology, and I'm gonna build all these things, and then you hit like a very, very strong point where like when I was making iron ingots, I'm like, I do have fire pals, but they're making like 1 ingot a minute. Like this is the slowest possible production, and I've unlocked all these items I could make with ingots, but it will take me like literally hours sitting here to just generate the resources. I have to get out there, and now I'm in the exploration gameplay.
Yes.
And now I'm in the catching gameplay, and now I've explored, and I found stronger pals. Yeah. And now I go back to the base with my stronger pals, and now I'm speedrunning the infrastructure there.
And you can be stubborn and like create multiples to be like, I'll just make 2 ingots per minute then. But you start to run into resource and cash problems at that point.
Well, yeah, now I'm doing that. Now I had like 4 Fox Sparks building ingots, but like now I have like 4 slots missing on my workforce that aren't doing farming.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know if it was in the game back when you played it. Was the PAL Converger in the game when you played it?
What did that do?
So the PAL Converger is like the fucking teleporting box from The Fly, right? The Grundleberg teleportation thing. And what you do is you take... condenser. You take 1 PAL and feed 4 other PALs of its type into it. And it gets to be stronger.
Oh, okay.
And then you take that same PAL and feed 8 more of its type into it, and it gets stronger.
Okay.
And when you do that, it increases all of that PAL's skills by 1.
There was a way to I don't like the description of what you're doing with the boxer, sir. I don't fully remember, but there definitely was a way to feed pals in and make your current make a target one stronger. Yes.
Yeah. So like the difference between, and then so I did that a couple of times and discovered, the difference between like 1 kindling and 2 kindling it's like 100% faster. It's like twice as fast. Like, each number on that thing is not just like, oh, it's a little better. Like, no, it is a full multiplicative amount better. So, like, it is better to have one PAL that has 3 kindling than 3 fucking PALs that have 1.
Right. And then you get a flyer that has like a really good length of duration for flight, and then you get really far out there, and then you see some stuff that's like pretty tough to catch, and now you're like, oh, well, if I want to catch that, you got to build up your team and be strong enough to come back and deal with that. So there is a smart, like, you're killing time by exploring, and exploring is creating things you want to catch anyway or go after.
And then you get back, and everybody finished making everything that you told them to make. And
so then the back and forth.
Resources.
Yeah. And on the way there, you saw a place where a base could be built, and you're like, oh, well, maybe I'll just do something here in the meantime. You know?
And on top of that, like, I have to say, like, I said it back when it came out, and I'll say it now. Watching the PALs run around and all automatically do their tasks and jump to things and transfer, it's so cool that they just all go. I don't know if they had it in early access, but nowadays, if a PAL can't reach something it needs to do, it just uses telekinesis to do it from whatever distance.
That's new. No, the pathing was dog shit, and things would get fucked up all the time.
The solution to that pathing issue is if the PAL determines it cannot reach it, it will just use its mind.
Wow.
To do it from a distance.
That's solid. Okay.
Which allows you to make pretty much any architecture you would want.
Okay. Because
without having to work around it.
Because you know that first base area, right? What I ended up...
The one that every single person uses, yeah.
Yeah, that first base area. What I ended up having was a giant warehouse kind of in the main area. And then, the giant cliffside?
Yeah.
I converted that cliffside into just scaffolding all the way down. And then, like, staircases that they could walk all the way up and all the way down from to go get the ore down at the bottom. And it's a long trek, and it's complex. And again, whenever they just feel like it, the pathing would break. And if you don't notice it right away, that's a bunch of fucking ore you just lost. And it sucks. So, okay, that's a good solution. Sure.
I find it so fascinating. I don't know how many of these like build up infrastructure games you've played to any degree, but like there's really 2 types of like ideas. Some people want to make like a really like adorable, cute, like holistic farm that like you look out and it's like got a nice vista and it's got like a thing. I build parking lots and Amazon warehouses.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, and like it's not like, oh, it's because it's efficient. No. I want to turn this wilderness into a fucking data center. Like, okay. I want the PALs to be polluting the environs with their bullshit.
I ultimately go for what's efficient for the placement for where things are going to be. And I also, as long as then I know that there's a main game that's completely separate from that aspect, and then that aspect is there that I can kind of throw a bit of time into or set it up in whatever way. I'm not going to I'm not going to make that the main focus, so I haven't done like Factorio or any of that stuff. But Cult of the Lamb, for example, is a place where you kind of set things up in this way, where I'm like, I want the shortest distance possible between the things that are going to be sleeping and doing the work, and sleeping and doing the work. Or in the case of the pinball game, Ball Pit. I want there to be a little alleyway that leads to maximum bounce. So you design your whole city infrastructure to be, bounce specific. So it's case by case, but I know that like it's not about like the cozy neighborhood vibe or whatever. I'm just like whatever's going to be efficient for sure.
Now the main thing is that like in finding and building that last brutalist architecture, moving all of your stuff from base to base is pretty. It's pretty time consuming. Mm-hmm. Like I dismantled my existing bases to build it up in a new location, and just the act of teleporting with a 100 like a. When you get your inventory full in a game and it's like you have 11,000% of your inventory limit.
Your beasts of burden that are carrying way too many rocks to move.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like there's that. And it can take quite a while. Like I thought I spent 45 minutes building this thing. it took me 2.5, 3 hours. It was like 12:30, and I was like, "Oh, good, that was a good 45 minutes."
I don't know if you made a second base that or so that was like in the middle of the forest next to the ravine.
But I did not. I made my primary base at the spot everybody does, and then I made a secondary base on top of some mining stuff. But I could never get the food production there to work out correctly.
Okay.
So then I decided to dismantle all of them and build a super gigantic mining base, which. If I need more room, like my thing has 2.5 floors right now. If I need more room for more stuff, I can just add another fucking floor to the thing.
Okay.
And just build. So I asked chat, it's very helpful. How high can you build things? And the answer was as fucking high as you want.
Yes. Now, but that first base, for example, once you get big enough, warehouse sized and such, you're going to run out of wood. There's not enough wood in that area for you to keep up with the amount.
I built this whole thing out of stone.
Okay. So I built a second base near a giant forest, the area I was describing, where there's a fuck ton of wood to get to start farming. But that base is also in the sandwich of two areas that you get rushed and constantly attacked from. So it becomes a high defense base, and now you have to spend a bunch of your time going back to fight off the war.
I sealed off the whole base with gigantic stone walls because I kept having Mamorests just walk in.
Yeah.
I have to say, building up one of these things is super satisfying. It makes me want to also, once I'm like had my time with Pal World, to go back to V Rising. It's the game that looks like Legacy of Kane Blood Omen, but it's another one of these. And as I was playing through Pal World, someone in chat went, in V Rising, when you move your new base, it just spawns a chest that had every single item from your old base in it that you can just go back to building immediately. You don't have to, like, I'm looking at this thing and I have like 17 chests all stacked up next to each other that I would need to transfer individually via teleports one at a fucking time. And I'm like, God damn it, what a motherfucking pain in the ass. Like, that is probably the only... No, I really have two problems with the game at all. Moving the base is insanely time-consuming and difficult, and it doesn't need to be. You could just put it all in your... I'm tempted to remove the game's, like, encumbrance stat entirely.
So I that's the thing is, like, every time I ran into that type of problem, I was just kind of going like, well, I guess that's what the genre is, though. The whole point is that this is supposed to be annoying.
Not
and take
necessarily.
time.
Sometimes it's just it's always been done that way.
Okay.
Chat, should I play fucking... I'm not going to play Enfield. You be quiet. But should I play V Rising on fucking Tuesday or whatever? Yeah, I should. Anyway. And the second one is thematic. I think that it sucks that the in-game balance incentivizes being nice to your pals.
Does it?
The rewards for pushing them and butchering them and all that stuff is very low compared to, just build an extra hot spring and keep them all happy and well fed and stuff like that. Like,
is that the case? Because I had the hot spring and I had that stuff set up for the ones that mattered, that I cared about, and I had some others that I overworked, and then the ones that I would like butcher after the fact, and it felt like overworking was leading to good returns. I don't know.
The problem, I don't know if it's different now, but like they get sick and then they just become like worthless. And like you're incentivized to build up super strong pals. That's the one good Mamorest kind of thing. Like I want to crush them into dirt. Like I want to hear the lamentations of the pals.
Sure, I would say early on the incentive to force them to work through the night and all that was good and worth it. That was felt like it was pretty rewarding when I was playing it. Not too sure. It's been a while though.
But Power World's excellent. It's crazy because the game's super jank. It feels almost as jank as it did in early access. back when I played it 2 years ago. The only change that I can see, and I can really, really see, is they have added the ability that if you're in the base and you hit start and you're looking at your inventory, you hit a button to just auto dump every single item in your inventory that's in a chest somewhere in your vicinity, which was a mod I added to Stardew,
Right.
because the existence of, I have 4,000 rocks and woods, better go find the fucking box to put them in, sucks. Like, it absolutely miserable. Might be the worst. I'm now waiting for somebody to tell me that it works like that in V Rising, which will then add the chance of me playing V Rising on my channel this week.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I was doing, but I remember a big part of me transporting stuff was getting pals to be like overburdened and then moving them from one place to another, holding way too much shit on them so that they could barely walk. I remember that was a big part of taking stuff from base to base, but it was a very tedious process. It was pretty annoying. I heard that there's a story now too.
There is a story. I don't know what it is. Because I am not very far. I've played the game for... How many hours have I played Power World this week? Like 20-ish? Yeah, 20. And I haven't gotten anywhere at all.
Yep.
Like, I built up my infrastructure, and I built up my technology, and I built up my gear, and I thought I was like way too far, and then I went like one zone over, and I was like, ooh, everything in this zone has hands. Holy shit.
Yep.
So like the next thing I have to do is like go to the Free Pal Alliance and deal with their PETA ass.
I think like towards the last couple times I was playing it, I got more bored with the base, so I started to just like go see what's in the world. Let's go fight shit. Let's go find out. And it's huge. It's fucking huge. There's a lot of different areas and a lot of different stuff I started running into. And I kind of was like, instead of taking the time to be like, okay, let's slow down here and catch everything, I kind of like walked further just to sort of expand the map and everything. But nothing I did seemed like everything I encountered, like while it was new and cool, it didn't seem like it was going to change the flow of gameplay that much, right? It felt like the loop is in, you know what it is, and you just kind of like it. Once you know what you're doing, you just kind of nose to the grindstone and just keep at it until you slowly expand into all these places and take over the map, you know? And
I was looking at like the technology stuff, and like stuff like it basically the whole loop is very similar to a lot of the other ones, which is, hey, I unlocked the technology to make gunpowder, right? However, gunpowder is labor intensive, so I got to stand here for a little bit and make gunpowder, right, in order to make bullets. Oh, okay, next step. I got a pal that I can put on the workbench to make gunpowder for me. Oh, well, now I've upgraded that pal so the pal can make gunpowder faster. Now I've unlocked the assembly line so that now they can just make gunpowder and ammunition at me saying, oh, like this. So now I've automated the process away. The thing that I had to do manually, now it's automated and has been replaced with the new thing that I'm doing manually.
Yes.
It's always like brand new thing. You can kind of make one or two, but it's manual. It takes a really long time. And now it's like, oh, I've automated that out so that I can do the new thing that's manual and takes a long time.
Did you encounter the creep fucker out in the wild?
Out in the cave?
In the cave.
The human trafficker? Yeah. I sold some people. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, they're syndicates. They're bad people. They shot at me first.
Okay. Well, yeah, the classic case of me playing too much early access and like blowing my wad too soon continues. And then
I sit there years later with your wad still out.
Yeah, I don't. You know, I mean, and this is not a case of like something like Hades or so where I'm like, nah, but that shit was fucking crack the whole time.
Oh, I'm gonna delete my save and replay Hades 2 with the fucking Hades 1 mod into it. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
That's an action game.
But unlike those, in this case, I'm kind of like, I think I saw it. I think I did it. And what's left is to just find the new stuff and see the new stuff. And
so, yeah, there's two types of personality types for early access. There's people like us. And then there's three. There's people like us. There's who are like, I want to play like a finished, complete game, and if the game comes out on launch and early access and feels finished and complete, I might not go back to it later when it's actually finished and complete because I got my time out of it, right?
Yeah.
Then there's people that are like, I don't care, I want it now. I will play it through early access. I will play it on this patch of early access. I will play it on this patch of early access. I will play it on this one. And then when the final one comes out, I'm going to play that one, even if I have to start over. Like, for example, me and Vampire Survivors. I got into Vampire Survivors like maybe a year from the end of early access, and every single patch that came out, I got every fucking thing that you could possibly do in that fucking patch and went, great, now I'm done with Vampire Survivors until the next patch of early access. And they did that for like 4 or 5 patches after the early access release. And Vampire Survivors is like the simplest possible game ever. You don't even do anything in that fucking game.
Yeah. I think
sorry, and then the third one is streamers who are like, bro, new friend slop is out.
Yeah, sure.
Early access is the only time it matters. What, you're going to go back to fucking Lethal League 5 years later? Who gives a shit?
All game hours are valid because you're making content. Yeah. I feel like that first one, especially I'm just realizing now, I'm thinking about, I'm like, what did I play recently where that kind of hit? And then I've seen an announcement. So Pal World 1.0, like I said, I'm not feeling the pull. They announced No Rest for the Wicked is coming out in October.
I own No Rest for the Wicked, and you know what I did? I briefly mentioned on a podcast maybe, and I said I bought it on a cheaper weekend, played it for 1 hour, and went, on the shelf you fucking go. This seems really cool. I will come back.
I played way too much early access. Yes.
No, that game was like super not finished at all.
No, I played hours of that. I just checked. I played like 25, 26 hours of it, and I played too much of that early access. I really thought it was going to be just one.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
No, I didn't. Not like hundreds of hours.
Because usually when people say I burned out on early access, they mean like I played 180 hours of this 40-hour experience.
No. It was just I went through like, because it was basically like I was expecting like the intro area to kind of be like limited to some degree, and no, you can kind of just keep going with it. And I went and I just kept going, you know, and saw a lot of that, at least what it felt like a bunch of it, and yeah, I did enjoy what was going on, but I also felt like by the time I was done, I was like, okay, I think I played a bit too much of this for now, and I don't know, we'll see. But when they announced that it's coming, I was like, oh yeah, like
I played a lot more Hades
I'll
in
see
early
how
access
I feel.
than 20 hours. I played like fucking 80 and then just deleted my file and just went right back in. Yeah, it depends. Like it's always like a percentage of the scope, right? So, like, No Rest for the Wicked seems like it would actually be, like, enormous, right? So if it's absolutely enormous and it's, like, a long-term... Like, that's why so many of the games we're talking about are, like, building up infrastructure stuff, because those games are, like, necessarily long-term. They just take a long time. They're hobby games, I guess you would call them. But... Like, I've seen early access game. Like, there's what the fuck is it? It's you remember Crosscode? They're making Alabaster Dawn.
Okay.
And I played the demo for Alabaster Dawn during a Steam Fest, and I was like, wow, this action adventure game is awesome. And then I checked, like, so what's the plan for early access? And the plan for early access is there's 2 levels in the game now, and every 3 or 4 months, we're going to add another level all the way until the final release and then do a polishing pass. And I'm like, I'm not going to touch this shit at all until that happens, because that is like my most hated way to play a game possible. Like, now, cannot stand that.
Now, they put this stuff out there, surely with the hope that, like, people that really love it are going to get in, spend as much time, and help them find stuff and submit and be part of the community. And, like, actively. Exactly, right? So that there's a... if you're a certain type of person, there's a whole lot for you there if you're willing to basically become a tester of sorts,
Yeah.
For me, I'm kind of just, like, poking at it as my interest goes until I see something that... like, kind of strings me along. And in the case of No Rest for the Wicked, there was enough things going on where I was kind of curious to see, like, I was essentially, like, drawn towards, like, what are weapons going to be like and, like, combat and how's that going to expand out and stuff. And I completed what felt like an act of sorts, to the game, and kind of got to like a reasonable stopping point where the intro, not the intro, but like the beginning first act of the game kind of like stops, and then there's like an introduction to like some more stuff that expands out. And I hit a decent natural stopping point. But all this to say that, like, with the announcement of it coming in October and stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm in no rush to kind of to jump back to it per se. I got a good itch scratched out of what I played there. But it was certainly good enough that I'm like, I will eventually want to take a look at what else is going on. But this thing, if like initially offering, a little too much or so, if what's they got going on is good, it's I don't know, it's hard to be like, nah, don't play it though. I'm like, well, I want to know.
Wooly, I did a sponsored stream for Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader.
Yeah.
A classic style turn-based computer RPG based on the Warhammer 40K license the day it came out, and I am still 2.5 years later waiting on that last DLC to come out so I can fucking start. And like, so I've described this a lot. I'll describe one more part that I got to Pathfinder Kingmaker, the first one of these that they made, after everything was out. And that was a great experience. And then I got to Wrath of the Righteous before anything was out. And guess what? It wasn't just like without DLCs. It was also rough as shit in a bunch of places. Because Owlcat says that it's it's 1.0. Those games are secret early access.
Wasn't that Kickstarter also?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so that I feel a little different for those, because I'm like, you have a bunch of backers that are waiting on what they paid.
Yeah,
there's a different expectation there.
And like if I had played through, if I had played through Rogue Trader when it came out, I still wouldn't be able to justify going through it a second time in a year, because it's like 150, 60-hour RPG. Like, it's fucking crazy. I'll do one, and then in 10 years, if it's like a classic that I think about all the time, I'll do a second one. Right? So like, yeah, that was me with Hades 2, where I just like I started it and was like, no, I'll wait, and then I went back when it was done, and then they tricked me and it wasn't, etc. And it's like, yeah, you have to know your own personality. It's like, are you going to ruin your dinner?
But also, from knowing my personality, when I look at Darkest Dungeon or Hades, I'm like, these are games I fucking love. I'm in there regardless. When I look at Pal World and No Rest for the Wicked, I'm like, I might have never played this to begin with. Right? Might have dodged it either way.
Yeah, no, that's very different. I'm kind of in love with Pal World. I gotta be honest.
Okay.
Like, it's gripping me in like a really intense way. Like the every part of it is better than it should be for this obvious knockoff. Like, every part of it is knockoff. Like the core gameplay is actually Ark. The exploration is just like Ubisoft / Breath of the Wild / Elden Ring, and then the Pokemon stuff. It's like a I don't know, it's just a bunch of shit jammed into a food processor to make a smoothie.
Yeah.
But like the smoothie actually came out pretty good.
No, there's a cozy to it. There's a cozy to it when you're just going through the motions. I will admit that. You know, being like, oh, let's go back behind this beach here and clear out this cave. And when you're doing the caves are just like dedicated gameplay exploration, you know, or so. And yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Just not like grabbed my heart and soul hooked, but that at the same time, the genre has yet to grab my soul and hook it in, you know?
Yeah. There was a comment right when we started before we were live that I saw that was so god awful that I copy pasted it to you.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is like childlike fanboy mentality that is like embarrassing, which is probably in the minority on this, but Power World, I feel, is only successful because of people who act like people who cannot get over their ex, LOL. Most of this game's success is just vicious spite. Bro, it did not sell like tens of millions of copies out of spite. Also, the function, here's the thing. If people were like, this is the good Pokemon kind of mentality, they would be talking about cassette beasts and Temtem and stuff like
all
that.
All the other ones that are like that, yeah.
The ones that are just Pokemon.
The jilted Pokemon fan has had a lot of other places and opportunities to spend that money.
Right? Like the core of Power World actually has nothing to do with like classic Pokemon gameplay of like gather, catch them all, type advantage stuff. It's actually like way more. It's closer to Factorio and Satisfactory and Stardew Valley than it is to Pokemon.
It just has the aesthetic of the cute buddies that you're going out to collect.
Yeah. Like it's like every time you see somebody goes, man, you just got to ignore the haters because they're always hating on me because of blank. I'm like, you sound like a child. You sound like a child, like a little baby.
I mean, that just sounds like someone with a very, very personal opinion on Pokemon that they're expanding out to everybody else and assuming that everyone else is in the place that they're at. I'm surprised that Power grabbed you that hard, though.
I like to build infrastructure.
If you have an existing game that's scratching that itch in your life, I feel like that you probably dive well into that.
Well, Stardew primed me for this,
right? But like
discovering that I'm actually crazy about the farming genre helped.
But you haven't been keeping up with Pokopia, right?
No, I haven't. Something about Pokopia. Something about I think what's happening is I love the genre and I love the core appeal, but like I'm picky if I encounter like one thing that's like no, I'm out. Right? So Pokopia has like an enormous amount of like get a Pokemon and then manage where they live and then they might do stuff. Right? I want to build a parking lot. I want to build the most dire-ass Amazon data center ever. So when I was doing Stardew Valley, I took me like the entire in-game 3 years, I can't remember, to get everything going, and I had the wine casks going, and I had the greenhouse, and I had all my farms with all the sprinklers, and I had the lightning rods for stuff like that, and I had it all nice. And once I had everything where I wanted, I paved it.
Right.
Every fucking stray hint of soil.
Yeah.
I fucking paved it, and it looked perfect and nice. And like Pokopia isn't about building a parking lot and then running infrastructure. It's about making the cozy home with your Pokemon
friends.
battles.
Yeah. Pokopia wants you to make the fun places for your friends to play and hang out and have fun. They want you to make a little town that's nice, and cozy.
Like when I play Satisfactory, like I'm turning nature into sludge.
Sure.
When I played Factorio, I'm turning nature into sludge. When I played Animal Crossing, I tried to turn nature into sludge, but the game won't allow it.
Sure.
It won't let you. And when I'm playing Power World, I'm turning nature into dirt. What annoys me genuinely, I want more games to have Factorio. You know how Factorio's sliding difficulty works? Is the more infrastructure you have, the more pollution it makes, and the more pollution there is, the more aggressive local wildlife is. Because the pollution you're making in Factorio causes the local flora and fauna to mutate into more dangerous things.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like, you are actually poisoning the planet horribly, and then the planet comes back on you. I want more of that. Like, I want the pals to hate my desecration of nature.
See, and I think for me, I love this as long as it is my downtime from the real game, which is going out and doing the real gameplay. Go out and do the ball pit, go out and do the Cult of the Lamb, go out and do the whatever, and then come back and think about your town for a little bit. And when you're stuck or bored or whatever, go back to the real game.
Mm-hmm. So, like, for example, a really good example of this discussion is Fields of Mystery, which I talked briefly about last week. It's coming out on August 5th. It's coming out in 2 weeks. And I played Fields of Mystery right after I beat Stardew and was like, oh, wow, this is incredible. And it's like 4 months away from the end of early access. I'll play it for one afternoon to see if I really, really like it, and I should be excited to wait. And guess what? I do, and it looks incredible, and it feels great. So onto the fucking shelf it goes. And much like Stardew, hey, guess what? Till the field, make everything in nice little rows, get your sprinklers going, get your livestock going, etc. Like, I want to turn fucking chaos into order. Like, that's the core of it. Like, the only reason I'm going out in Pal World to get new pals and explore is so I can have stronger, like living units of infrastructure to place into factory positions.
Chaos into order / nature into industry.
Sludge.
Yes, right. Okay.
And Pal World's pretty good. I think it's cool. Pat loves digital climate change. Yeah, no, like climate change in games, awesome. Climate change in real life, not so good. Not so good.
Fair enough.
I was kind of disappointed in Stardew. There's the Amazon warehouse storyline. Like you can do the community storyline or like the Joja Corp storyline, and the Joja Corp storyline is so boring. It like the community one is like, hey, get one of all these hundreds of different items, which like like goes, hey, maybe you should, try and get strawberries. Maybe you should try and get milk. Maybe you should try to manufacture cheese. Stuff like that. And then the Joja one is like, the way you get to the next level of the quest is you pay us X amount of dollars, and it's like that for every single one.
Okay,
it's like it's dull. It's boring.
What was that? That recent one that was like, fuck. I just played it. That was from the pixelated, and it was with the depressed girl. Neverway. I could see myself.
Neverway seems way more up your alley.
Yeah, I could see myself going back to Neverway because I want to know more about the character and what's happening in this world and who you're meeting and the plot and the story of what's going on. And then we can see some farming too. And there's a little bit of combat here and there.
What's interesting is that like I rewatched like the latest Neverway trailer the other night, and I was shocked at how much like different types of gameplay and combat you can see in that trailer. Like, it actually spends more time showing you like nightmare scenes or you fighting monsters than it does you like
farming.
Tilling a field.
Yeah, farming is there, but it's not the emphasis of that demo, nor is it the emphasis of anything they're promoting.
It's
either.
Very, very interesting that it is very different. Like, here you're riding a motorcycle and slashing things with a laser sword. Like, what? I don't know how that fits the fuck into that story, but okay.
She's sad. Why is she sad? She got fired. Why is she fired?
Her phone doesn't have any charge.
What's going on? Who's that mysterious weirdo out in the street? Okay.
You know what I just realized? Your description of doing all this farming stuff and infrastructure stuff on the way to the real game is you describing a classic Monster Hunter game. like every Monster Hunter game up until like World or Rise, where it's like, I'm managing these items and I'm sending guys out to get materials and then I'm building up my materials for my thing, but it's all just in service to get myself ready to go punch that shit.
Fucking counter that rushing attack and then do that sick boss fight. Hell yeah.
It's crazy.
That's the peak of the game's loop. The peak of the loop is that final strike that takes down the monster.
It's so interesting because Stardew, for example, is it has combat, right? There's the mines that you go down and you fight stuff. The peak of the Stardew loop is Harvest Day, and you just jam like fucking 400 strawberries into the fucking box, and you get to the end of the day and go to sleep, and you see the ticker go, and it goes, and it goes, you made like fucking 22 grand.
You're super rich.
You have tons of money to go buy more infrastructure. Like,
anything else?
Honestly, mainly just Power World. Mainly, I mean, I've also been playing FF14. With the gals, which has been fun. We're getting Hina and Ecto through the, if you are aware, the Demi-Atma step of the relic, which is it's a grind to get a fancy weapon, but the point is that it is also random. Like, you have to do events, and the events have a random chance to drop the thing you need. Me and Ecto have what we need. Hina is a little bit behind. Of note, though, there's something about grinding late at night in an MMO on stream that, if you're ever in that situation, make sure to check the person you're grinding with. Hey, did you get all the items? So that you don't grind for like 20 extra minutes because you're too busy gabbing about bullshit. And it turns out they had the items in their inventory the whole time.
Okay, and here you are, the moment you've been waiting for, what you've been building up to. My contextual follow-up questions. Now that I understand.
Oh yeah, sure. What's up?
Is it a weapon that is? Is there one for every class when they put these challenges out, so that no matter what you are, you have a particular version?
The relic is basically, hey, you don't want to raid, but you want a cool reward.
Okay.
Do you want to grind instead of raid? Do you want to use time instead of like difficulty? And so the relic is, a lot of games have some variation of it, which is usually tied to some new area, new gameplay that comes out on a patch, and it'll come out on like a patch halfway through the life cycle, and everybody can have it, and it will have 5 different steps, usually 5 different steps that all have different looks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so they don't start glowing and looking all fucking nuts right away. You get the first version and then slowly update it to look better.
Yeah, so the way that this one works is you would essentially grind fates in a new area until you get enough drops, and then you get the standard form of the weapon that is just a cool looking model, right, that is unique. And in terms of like strength of item, it's a good weapon for the time that you get it. It's never the best weapon, but it's good, right? Because the raiders they cry if they don't have the best weapon at the given time during team. And then a patch will come out, and then there'll be a new step. And the new step is, run roulettes for a couple of weeks and get gather enough light to upgrade the weapon. Okay, so you do that, and now it has a glow, right? So it's the same model, and now it has a really cool glow. And some of the glows this time are really excellent and super classy. Then the next step will come out.
If I want to finish it but keep my not World of Warcraft glow version of it, can I do that?
Then you go to the guy that you picked it up from, and you buy the replica of the old one, and you just glam it on.
Okay.
So, there have been a lot of these where you get to the final step, and you're like, wow, the glow on this looks like shit, dude. Give me the non-glow version.
Well, there is an MMO core aesthetic that I'm aware of from seeing at this for years now. That is like,
which is the sun.
You're a knight at a rave, basically. Yeah. A knight walks into a rave, and this is what happens. Like, it's at a certain point, I'm like, maybe I don't want to look like that, you know?
Yeah, there have been versions of these that are like like the long term. Like, I think Shadowbringers had the worst glow the game has ever seen, where it was like these floating crystals that just made all the silhouettes look like dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
You can always get the old matte version. So for example, Melee. Yeah, so here's your Monk Fist for Dawn Trail. For example. Can I send this to you? And then here is your Monk Fist with Glow for Dawn Trail.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Where they've gotten a lot more subtle than gigantic exploding nonsense. Like, there was one year that, like, all the relics had this gigantic concentric circles floating off the end of the fucking thing that constantly moved with twirling shit all over. And you're like,
yeah,
it's too much.
Because
it's too much.
In my brain, I just see my old roommate playing WoW. I see the words War Song Gulch floating over the top, and just a bunch of fucking glowing nothing in a crowd together, just bouncing around the bottom of the screen.
WoW had that problem extra bad because of the way they designed like capes and shoulder pads. So the WoW aesthetic is so defined by big shoulders because you're looking at your character from the back, and the big shoulders and a cape just cover the whole fucking... It's a head on top of two shoulders and a cape.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like, it really fucked up everybody's silhouette. And then you pull a weapon out, so now it's a head on top of two shoulders and a cape, and to the sides of the cape are just light. Just light everywhere.
And that's not even getting into the part where you're riding a beast that's also glowing.
Yeah.
and shitting at rainbows. And yeah, all right. Cool.
Hey, I gotta take that dog. He, as you can see behind me. Wait, can you see behind me? He is sad because he is hungry. So I'll be back in 5 minutes with a less hungry dog.
BRB. All right. So over on my side, got to
over on the Woolly Show. What's happening?
Over on the Woolly Life, got to experience fever baby. Baby got a fever.
Oh, man.
And baby did not enjoy fever, and she was pretty bummed out about it, and that leads to like, okay, entire game plan, entire life plan, or whatever else you had planned. Okay, we're doing this now. And it is interesting because, like, okay, naps and appetite and everything else that you had planned goes out the window, but some things get real simple, and one of those things is, what are your needs? To hug you and just, I want you to be close and hold me, and that's all I want.
That's it? That's all you got?
And you're like, I can do that. And
I'm actually good at doing that. I've been practicing.
Yep. And it's kind of interesting considering, like, you know, it sucks because, like, you can feel the temperature, and you can feel, like, you know, all the downsides, and just like she's really irritable, and just clearly is like, you know what it's like when you feel sick and you're just like, oh god, everything sucks, the lethargy, etc. But
and your wife makes fun of you because she's like, oh, the men are sick, oh boy,
sure,
look at you guys.
Right. But what's usually happening in a lot of cases now, where you're like, she's at that age where she's like curious and running around and looking at things, and she's like, you pick her up for 2 seconds, and she's like, yeah, okay, thanks for picking me up, yeah, right, pushing off to look around and stuff. But now it's like, no, she's feeling cuddly and cozy and wants to just be there, and you're like, okay, well, this kind of reminds me of the first few months, and I'm down for that. So again, it's weird that there's a silver lining in that moment, but
It's like, you know, for example, the man, I walk him all over the place, right? And he is a little guy with new little guy legs, and he wants to run really, really fast. So what happens? Down he fucking goes. Just full flat, just, right? Just, you know, like, toddler falls over bad enough, and you just hear the... right? And then he starts to cry, and, like, I pick him up. And it's like, okay, so this sucks, and I feel bad, but, like, you're obviously not hurt. I can see you. It just scared you, right? And so what you do? Like I do this. Paige taught me this. This is so good. Which is you just ask them if every part of their body is okay, and you like tickle them, and they just go like, "Is your head okay? Are your arms okay? Are your feet okay? Is your butt okay? Is your stomach okay?" And they'll go, "Yeah, right." But like, yeah, he fell down, and that sucks. But also, he's gonna go, "I need my dad." And do this with the arms out.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, you do.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. No, it's exactly that. That's, you know, and it's one of those, there's a, like I said, a solid last few months of just like full on scooting around exploration, you know, she don't want to crawl, but she'll butt scoot everywhere, you know.
Oh, my guy never butt scooted.
Yeah.
He was a backwards crawler.
Oh, like in reverse. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
no, he's like some babies, they figure out how to move backwards with their arms before they figure out how to move. So he would like get further away from the thing he wanted to get to, and he would get super pissed off.
I know. I was looking this up to find out, like, there's a ton of kids that just obviously skip crawling and go into different versions of transportation. Some kids just learn to roll into their position.
It works.
Yeah. And so for her, she just hates tummy time and hates being in crawl position. So she learned how to basically be in crawling, but with 1 foot forward. And then she'll butt scoot to where she wants to get. Just
that works.
You know, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Movement is movement, you know. But all that and all that curiosity. And also, like, the impatience with, like, being like, hey, I know this room. I know these toys. I know what's... I want to see what's going on out there. That exploration and all that is... she's getting more and more, like... You know, you have to please her by bringing new novelties in and introducing new things and doing a lot of new things. But this was a temporary just reversion to that simple time. And is this what... This is... that feeling is probably what Munchausen by proxy is actually about. Come to think of it. No?
No.
The feeling of, like, all of a sudden, all they need is me, and this is a nice moment. Is it not just that?
No, it's a form of most
twisted place.
It's a form of narcissistic sympathy farming.
Okay.
Munchausen by proxy is not about your child needing you. Munchausen by proxy is about your image as a wonderful caregiver to others.
Right. Okay. Because there's a second there of just like, oh, it's nice that she wants to stay. She wants to cuddle up and do all that. And then it's like, oh, what if I could keep doing this? And then you just, you know what I mean?
No, what it is actually closer to like me being like 20 years old and asking my dad for help for something. And even though it massively put him out, he would like jump at the fucking chance to do whatever, even if it was a massive pain in the ass, because it meant he got to be like, I get to be helping my little boy again.
I get to help you out. Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Well, okay. Well, either way.
Love for your children is an inconvenience to Munchausen by proxy. Like, it's a form of mental illness, so you shouldn't judge, but people with Munchausen are evil.
So, the fact that you get extra hugs and cuddles because they're feeling that way.
Oftentimes they make their kids so sick they can't get anything. I mean, Wooly, Munchausen by proxy parents kill their children.
Right. No. Well, there's obviously that level of fucked up. But and I'm like, wait, no, the kid's actually fine and not in that mood. The thought was just, was there a moment of experiencing that where the kid was actually sick that they just keep wanting to farm?
No,
in a fucked up way was where
because
the thought came from.
The feeling you're getting out of it isn't just that the little person wants to hug you and that's awesome. It's that you will also be helping make the little person well, making them injured. Like that would be the equivalent of you going like, she started walking, so I took her legs out and she cried, and I was like,
and I was there to
hugs.
Here I am.
So like, if you remember in Arrested Development, like Lucille picks up a baby and like gives them like a banana, and as soon as the baby likes the banana, she like, no, I'm thinking of Archer.
It is
my
Lucille,
brain
though.
said
It is
Lucille
still it's the
actor.
Mallory, sure. Yeah.
Mallory, yeah. She picks up a baby and gives it like a toy, and as soon as the baby likes the toy, she throws it away, and the baby cries and goes, there, you can only trust mommy.
Yes,
right? Or something
right,
like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's closer to what you're talking about, but that's still not Munchausen.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Well, in any case, that fucked up shit aside, no, so that was kind of what we're dealing with for a little bit there. How
are you liking what is genuinely the rudest behavior you've ever seen in your life of, hey, Dada, what? Right in your mouth. Right in your open mouth.
Yeah, I mean, obviously no dialogue beforehand, but that's just like I'm looking at you and going, bah!
Bro, like, it's wild. Like, this is behavior that would escalate to a brawl
a million,
if it was from an adult.
But then also though, there's also this. Oh, and you're just like, well, now you're just ensuring that it gets in there. So thank you.
There's no.
Yeah,
you got to get real unsqueamish.
Can't fight it. But on the plus side, on a separate timeline, did take that cargo bike out for a spin.
Oh, cool!
And I can report that she loves it and just really enjoys the outdoor movement, all that stuff, looking around and taking it all in. It's a big hit, which is really nice because going to be using that for a bit. And one of the things that I was wondering about is like, okay, gonna hit these corners nice and slow, and while we're on a protected bike lane, so it's like everything is is separated from the cars. There's still potholes and a little couple of bumps, and I'm just like, okay, you gotta ease past these bumps. And like baby's like, yo, I love the bumps actually. And every time you kind of have a little like, boom, she's like, ah,
Babies love rough rides. That's why they like to play like bumpy trot and horsey and rocket ship and all that shit.
So like I'm trying to avoid the potholes and speed bumps and all that, and she's practically like wanting to steer into them.
Like, my guy could, like, take or leave a slide. Like, he's gone down a slide, he's on weed.
Same.
Right? However,
no interest.
Like, once I took him to the seesaw, and I just launched his shit into space, where he could barely hang on by the handles, do that shit for half an hour.
I suspect that, like, the reason why the slides mean nothing... And she likes swings, right? The swing's cool, but it loses its novelty. But I think it's because being in your arms and getting gravity tossed around defeats all of those.
Yeah.
Right? I think those get fun once you're grounded on your feet and you get weighed down, and then you yearn to lose that gravity once again,
Like, your girl has a way to go, but you're going to hit in about, like, I don't know, maybe 10 months. Screw it, I'm just gonna throw this kid straight up in the air. Just like right over my head, like a couple feet over there, because you do that and you're like, a lot of the other stuff just doesn't rate to just being tossed around like a football.
But I truly think that like slides and swings only become fun when you're not being carried around and sort of flying everywhere to begin with, so that's nice, that's going well.
How are you feeling?
I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah,
for now.
Yeah. I mean, dawn of the daycare approaches, and with that comes.
If you thought you got sick before,
a whole lot of that. Not to mention, and formal announcements to be made very shortly, but the channel schedule is going to be changing drastically
that makes sense.
To account for daycare hours.
Like, for example, hey everyone, in 2 or 3 years, my channel schedule is also going to change dramatically to accommodate school hours.
Yeah, basically, look, the thought right now is essentially in August, the streams are going to be going from 1 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be
Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern.
We're going to be dragging.
That's not that big of a difference for you, right?
We're dragging
like with
3, so we're dragging it back 2 hours, and we're ending 3 hours earlier.
Yeah, that's not that different.
It
changes my life for the podcast significantly, but it just makes it easier for me and Paige to stream afterwards.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's going to mean a tighter ship on the actual days that we run the pod, but yeah, no, fucking school hours have been thrust upon us. No matter how you try to fight them, they eventually come back for you, because that's the way it works. Also, in addition to I was just gonna say, like, you know how, like, the whole thing about, like, we're stuck on the time that the old farmers forced society to adopt.
Mm-hmm.
There's also that thing where it's like, yeah, that's true, but nobody.
That's not true. That was for like wartime, wasn't it?
But not
farmers will work whenever the farmers need to work.
But not the daylight savings, but the whole bit about, like, up at the crack of dawn and then finishing up while in the evening time while old people are getting ready to fall asleep and go to bed. Right, mm-hmm. We've talked about this.
That's because the olds have control of our society.
Well, that's basically what I'm talking about, and that is true. However, no one told that baby when to go to sleep and when to wake up. And admittedly, like,
what are your hours for that?
So
what's bedtime?
She's at 2 naps a day, and she's going down. In between, the range of time is, let's say, generously 7 to 9. In between 7 and 9 p.m., she'll go down.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is pretty much what our guy did. Once the sun starts going down, their time is limited.
And once she's down, she... it depends on what's going on. She'll sleep through the night a bunch of times, and it's great. But there's still often enough where, around 2 a.m. or so, she'll wake up and want a bottle, and I'll go down and I'll hit that. And then she'll stay down till morning time.
Mm. I'm doing like 9:30, 10 to 7.
Okay,
which is like normal.
Okay.
Like a normal person. It's going to be
9:30
interesting because when he gets a little older, we're going to have to dial that back to like 8 o'clock. Because it's school night.
Well, that's the thing, is that I'm surprised it's that late right now, because I remember when I got older and, like, that shit was like closer to exactly 8 o'clock and stuff.
We don't have Paige and I are streamers. We don't have the schedule like requirements that most people do.
I remember trying to negotiate based on my age, because, like, 8 o'clock at 8, therefore 9 o'clock should be at 9, right?
Oh, that math doesn't work.
No, when I was young, I remember wanting to use that justification.
Yeah.
But anyway, it
needs to be, there's a show on at 8:30 or 9 that you're old and mature enough to watch.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Well, like, nobody's fucking watching Catwalk on YTV, okay? That's when it's time to stop watching, because who gives a fuck about Catwalk? All the cool shit ends, and then some fucking lame teen drama with kids in warehouses started up. Anyway, so that's what's going on. The transition into, let's attempt it again, Back Fiat's Boulder begins and continues. The cargo bike mob.
Oh, okay.
We continued playing Dark Souls 2, and I
saw Depression got him. I saw it.
Depression showed up in the wharf. Reggie got wharfed. And
that area is fucking mean.
It is, but also it's double mean, because it's your first little, like, hey, so you got through Hades Tower of Flame, congratulations. If you don't go back and find some fucking torches, which you will not have found in this area, you're fucked, and this area is not getting cleared. You're not getting through the wharf, right?
Yeah, I feel like DS2 had like a lot of like mean areas. They were like, hey, I'm gonna get him with this one.
Like the torch mechanic, you better fucking go find a torch, which is those over in the fucking Tower of the Giants. In the Force of the Giants. So you ain't doing this for now, but you can take a peek if you'd like. Interestingly, though, scholarly edition, scholastic edition, I've been calling it, right?
Mm-hmm.
No Lucatel at the bonfire.
Nope. Moved around.
Pushed her into the zone.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a good change in the sense that, I mean, you can come back eventually once you've got, the chops, or whether you push all the way through, to pursue her and move back, or you come back around early. I think the introduction to her earlier at that fire was good because it's that first, like, you're potentially going to be a homie kind of introduction, NPC wise. And I mean, obviously, yeah, there's paint before that, but but I think her being introduced early is a nice little like, hey, someone cool is out there. You're not on your own. Keep it going. That little like seeds of friendship you're sowing. And by simply moving it a little bit further into the zone, but it's a zone you might not be back to for a while, I think that's a worse change because you lose out on that little sense of camaraderie for a long time, potentially.
So I played Scholar of the First Sin with Dark Souls 2 more fresh in my mind. So I like saw most of the changes. And it is maybe the strangest like remix of a game I've ever played, because for every good decision that you're like, that's smart, that's a better version, there are 0.8 bad decisions. Like overall,
slightly less.
It's like a 10% improvement.
Yeah, okay.
But that comes with like 40% mistakes.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Like,
it's really, really weird.
Why are there no Hyde Knights in Hyde's Tower of Flame? I don't know, but that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Right?
And they're placed in more interesting places that make itemization better.
Your brain wants to think about that reasoning, and that's a much more interesting thing than actually they're all over the place now.
Then you're like, why did they just abjectly ruin Iron Keep? And now Iron Keep is the worst zone in the game by far. You know what they did, Wooly? They increased the aggro range on all the knights to like 4 times as long.
So they rush your shit.
They all just rush you right away. It's unbelievable. It feels like a mistake. It feels like a bug.
Yeah, I remember going through that not too long, or rather a couple years back. But these ones that like the NPC stuff, I'm like, that's what little you're grabbing onto in these games, and those moments are so important.
A lot of those feel like they were changed to a different location that's fundamentally the same, just to change it. Like, just to do it, just so it's different.
Just to fuck with you. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love you.
Yeah. And I there's also something, too, that I dislike where talking to an NPC around a bonfire really feels like you're traveling with them. Or they're on their own quest and you're meeting in the night, and you're having a moment and then you're on your way. And it sucks that's different here. It's a little thing, but I'm like, objectively not as cool as that first little meeting, Anyway, so that continues, and what else did I do? This weekend, I played a game of Commander.
Is that Magic the Gathering?
It sure is.
I know. That's the popular new form of Magic.
Yeah. So
that people like to do.
I got invited to go hang out. Grab James was having a game of Commander over at his place, and I went in and sat through and had a real shot at it. Now, the first time I played Magic the Gathering was in grade 8.
Yeah, I played it 2 or 3 times around that time, and I was like, no, not for me.
Yep, I felt that. And then over the years, I watched the financial aspect of it kind of go nuts too.
Go completely out of control.
And that was also not that appealing. So, it's been what it's been. But in this instance, I was there. It was me. Fox K joined, and another player, Bootsy, one of the folks from the FGC out here. And I will say that, like, on the whole, this is your modern replacement for Poker Night with the Boys, with the Magic the Gathering version, right? And I learned something crucial about what Magic the Gathering is that I did not know up until this point, that it's not a huge deal, but it puts things into place so much more for me. I was looking at this card game ultimately as, like, it's the one that existed before a lot of the others, and it's kind of just, you're sending out a bunch of cards of random bullshit go against other cards of random bullshit go. And there's land, and there's artifacts. There's
land and creature.
And there's creatures.
And
but you're kind of just doing, you're just throwing shit at each other, right? Or whatever. But I had no real context for, like, what exactly that was, or the container for it. Whereas, like, like Yu-Gi-Oh, like, you're a duel master and you're putting down your summon things and they're coming out. And this is really stupid and trivial, but I had no idea that in Magic, you are all mages summoning these things to fight against each other, or creating constructs to fight against each other, and that's what the backdrop of this is.
So I didn't know that. That wasn't information that I had acquired.
Yeah.
I just assumed that. It's called Magic.
So it's called Magic, right? But, like, the idea of, like, you're planewalkers and you are all summoning, and everyone you're fighting against, every person you're facing to every other player is another wizard that's fucking casting and whatever, and this is a big old nerd battle.
It reminds me of League of Legends and what a summoner is, and I don't know if that shit is even true anymore.
Okay.
I don't know if League players are summoners anymore. I think that core conceit got, like, retconned out of existence.
The Rift, right? Everything about those entering the Rift.
Which is fucking stupid. That's so dumb, bro.
I remember asking about that with Arcane, and, like, apparently that's gone or whatever. But either way, like, this little contextualizer kind of made it make more sense of this, because I'm like, okay, so I kind of was like, okay, well, I am now a golem that's doing whatever, and and then there's forests, but anyway, that's what the whole container is.
Yeah, and it's like you're a wizard and you're, like, really into Final Fantasy XIV Evangelion. So here they go!
Exactly. And here comes Captain America, and here comes a fucking character from Doctor Who.
Yeah, what? Who gives a shit?
Pre-Eccleston era, mind you. Like, not even modern Doctor Who. I don't know why, but for some reason, Sergeant John Benton is just unstoppable. Anyway,
can I say something really controversial? As somebody who likes crossovers, I think crossovers in a game like Magic are terrible. And I don't play Magic, so I'm all the way on the outside. But I think the idea of playing, like, Magic the Gathering, and I have all my deck and I'm good, and then someone casts Captain Kirk and Doctor Who on my shit, I want to stand up and leave. Like, it's fucking embarrassing. It's fucking, like, god awful.
So I know that I get that to some degree, but I guess I'm like, but doesn't everyone kind of, like, almost sign the contract to accept this the moment you're, like, buying cards forever? The moment that it's like there will always be a new decks, new cards, new things, there's always new. Is it not kind of like at some point this is to be expected?
No.
I guess. I mean,
like, for example, like, let's take Final Fantasy 14, right? There's a lot of Final Fantasy stuff in that. I think fighting Doom Train the monster or Guard Scorpion the robot Cool, like cute little reference. I like that anime, yada yada. If, I don't know, Sephiroth were to show up in FF14 as the named character Sephiroth, I'd be like, yo, that sucks, actually. I think that's fucking shit.
As someone who's recently looking at the fact that guest characters are inevitable in all franchises and all series at this point and everything is kind of smash, I agree and I get that part of it.
I think there's a big difference between like Tifa coming to Street Fighter 6 and Tifa coming to Street Fighter 6, which means you're going to have to deal with her in Street Fighter 7 and Street Fighter 8 and Street Fighter 9.
Like, I feel both ways about it in the sense that, okay, I always prefer things are as I always prefer originals, and I always prefer things, be its own. And I also know that, like, in some cases, like, Soul Calibur kind of started the train of, like, holy shit, guests. And that was unexpected, and that was really hype. And then Smash Brothers is built on the idea of guests, because the whole thing is, like, a crossover. Yeah. So that is more pure to its identity. But I feel like, I know the feeling of, like, watching something that had a original kind of pure state get eventually all about, like, IP introduction and needling it. Here comes Negan, right? Here comes all these other things. So yeah, that does kind of suck over time. And there's a part of me that goes, okay, well, once we accept that this is inevitable, they're always going to, there's just a push towards this direction, my hope then is like, well, I hope that they're appropriate and or fit the world, right? So if you're going to pick a Guilty Gear character to show up in Samurai Showdown, at least it's Biken, and then I kind of am just like,
at least, yeah.
And that's the cope of accepting that guests are part of what they are. If a Street Fighter is going to have guests, I'm hoping that they're fighters and that they fit the world and it's not just completely like whatever.
So
right?
like this isn't a hard and fast rule. Like people are pointing out that I liked Golbez in 14, and I did like Golbez in 14. They do change him quite a bit. But like I think for me, when it comes down to Magic, is that it's gone from... It's like if Street Fighter became Smash Brothers. So, if Magic came out in the 90s and was like all this different shit, it was the Fortnite of the day, that would be one thing. But Magic was its own thing for decades before it's I play my Godzilla against your Y'shtola and then Doctor Who fights your Batman.
Yeah, like, I guess to refine what I was kind of getting at earlier, I'm thinking about the fact that Wizards of the Coast and the relationship they've had with the player when Magic the Gathering for years, I've been on the sidelines observing as hostile at best. And as a result, there's almost a like, oh, well, of course they're going to do the thing because that'll sell and that'll make money. And they're like, fuck you. Of course that's going to happen. There's
I have to steel man people that are not me. I'm going to straw man myself. There, I realized during the course of this conversation that there was something that you said that altered the extremity of my opinion on this topic. Like, it went from, oh, that's fucking lame, to like, oh, I hate this. And it's when you told me that I could sit down and play Magic the Gathering, a fun game to enjoy, and be forced to remember that Doctor Who exists, ruining my day. The idea, like, because once you smash bro out in every direction, you start to include things that like people fucking hate.
Sure.
I fucking hate Doctor Who. I think people who like Doctor Who are stupid. Maybe just British. I don't know. But
I watched 3 seasons of it and I enjoyed them.
You were wrong and you should feel bad.
Nah, Eccleston was cool.
I'm maturing and I'm getting up to like let people like things. Not this one. No.
And then also my obligatory Torchwood reference because I watched that too. It was fine. It was fun. It was fucking. It was different and I enjoyed it. It's very British TV, so there's a flavor and pace of British TV that you have to appreciate. But if you watched some Misfits or so, you're more than set and ready for it.
No,
or some Sherlock. Anyways, what the fuck ever. That's not even the point. Now we're on a, like, this is all stupid train or whatever, and it's like, sure.
We kind of, But what's Commander?
But the match before the Doctor Who character came out, Captain America was on the board, and Shane gave him a Buster Sword. And you know what I mean?
Okay, that's like kind of the perfect example.
But that's literally what happened.
It's too far.
It was a Voltron build where Captain America was the main, and then the main commander, and then he got a Buster Sword attached to him alongside a bunch of other accessories from other shit, like the Kingdom Hearts artifact at some point as well. So that happened in the same game too. And yeah, I think that, like, Magic the Gathering also has been in the background with a lot of these character. It's had these cards for a million years and so on. But like the way that my friends were using them was like they were printing their proxies anyway. Like he was printing his own custom cards of fucking JoJo cards or whatever Kirby shit nonsense and so on. So it's all just having fun with that.
Come take my printed bad cardboard cards out of my cold dead hands.
Yeah.
Hasbro.
So there was one card that was like it's lightning deflection is an actual card or so that you do to like or to send a spell that's being cast from one place to another. And then here's the Zuko version where it's the lightning redirect from Avatar, because that's basically whatever. And I did, and a number of people showed me, like, here's the Street Fighter characters that they introduced into the game recently at a con. I got, like, someone give me like a Blanka card and so on. So I know that these games have, like, they've looked at surely stuff like UFGT and a number of other card games that were multiple IPs being Smash Brothers, the card game, to begin with as an appeal, and watching as like, hey, if you pull in people from every different thing, some people are going to be like, I'm a fan of Magic, but someone who's like, actually, I'm a fan of Captain America, Doctor Who, Cloud, etc. They're like, well, I want that. And so you can pull in those people as well, and they're going to do that because that's what it is. Commander is 4 players, so it's you're all playing against each other.
Okay, it's a group thing. Got it.
Group thing. Everybody's fighting for themselves. Everybody has a deck. You have 100 cards.
It's a free-for-all?
Free-for-all. You all got a stack of 100 cards in front of you, and you have one commander who is your... the reference I went to was your hero system in Warcraft 3.
Yeah, sure.
It's your hero.
Your general.
It's your general, exactly.
Your commander, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and you all have more life than you would in a normal Magic the Gathering game, so you have 40 HP as opposed to 20. And
that makes sense with 4 people on the field, like.
Mm-hmm. And the way that you basically play is, you take turns going around the board, and you choose who to attack when you want to do an attack. And you can attack multiple people with different cards that are attacking instead of just...
Okay, that seems like a really interesting way to play a game.
It is, and it is a funner version because, like I said, it does become a bit of a casual, like, game of poker, for the night type of feeling. And
is this the Texas Hold'em of Magic the Gathering?
Perhaps it is, because it was enjoyable. I had fun with it. Especially considering how I bounced off in the past. I will say a big part of that helped by basically being handed a deck where, James was like, all right, here's a green deck. This is a deck that is going to build on top of itself. It's going to be about putting things out and doing damage, and is the default, most straightforward, go, attack, do the thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I remember the deck colors in Tepen a bit, so, that's what it is. Whereas, my friend was playing a black deck, which is kind of like, I'm like, oh yeah, Wesker in Tepen, with the self-sacrificing to do vampiric things, to damage yourself, to heal back, etc. Or a blue control deck, or all these different colors and established things, right? Interestingly though, when it was like, okay, the rules are getting explained, and and they're like, okay, so yeah, first you do this, and you can tap that, and do your upkeep and so on. And I was like, okay, stop, hold on. I know that tapping is like turning the card sideways, but like, sure, what is the order of operations in a turn? Like, what is the game? What is actual Magic? Like, stop, break it all the way down.
Did they not give you a rule sheet or something to read about whatever?
And we slowed it down, and we wrote out the rule sheet, which is untap, upkeep, draw, main 1, combat, main 2, whatever resolve, you know. And then when you go into the combat, there's even, you can zoom in further to declaring and countering the declarations and whatever else, and it goes into this whole thing. And I was like, okay, cool. So once I got the gist of that, we started cooking, and I had some fun with it. Playing a straightforward deck to begin with made it make a lot more sense, and I actually won the first game we played.
Oh, cool. Always a good start.
Yeah, that was nice. The first commander I had was Ovia, old lady, that basically would allow you to bring out expensive creatures for really cheap. And then I had a bunch of insane, super strong cards that would come out, and then as long as I was able to have enough resource to pull out another one, I could, like, you know, start combining them with each other. A Cactuar came on the field at one point, and the Cactuar, like a Cactuar does, has 9999 damage, and like 1 defense or whatever the thing was on it, and that combined with something that could make it a flying attack meant that it was going to be unblockable direct to the user, so someone dies in one hit type broken shit. And I was like, this seems insane. Is everyone's deck as broken as this? And it was like, yes, it can be, but as long as everyone kind of agrees in advance that we're playing what the official categorizations have been set to as, like, not sweaty mode. Because, you know, you can actively have, like, there's an active set of rules that people have agreed to where they're like, okay, are we being sweaty or are we not being sweaty? And if we're not being sweaty, how unsweaty are we being? And by getting into the bracket system, you don't have to deal with, like, somebody who's, like, being as extreme and nuts on the rules that are playing for competitive levels where they're like, this is for money, right? Because when you're at that level, there's moments of, like, oh, did someone say the word, how many things do you summon? And you said, I summon infinite. And it's like, oh, well, if you said the word infinite, then that means that this turn will never resolve. So technically this is a draw instead of me losing. And then you call out a judge to rule on that because they said the wrong word. So instead they'd have to say 2 trillion or whatever. It's pretty sweaty, admittedly. Anyway, there's what was it? Yeah, the main thing of it feels like the main challenge of the game, besides, like, you know, knowing your opponent's decks and what they can do and taking calculated risks and stuff, is, like, just remembering all the rules in play that you have to resolve. Because like, by the late game, you know, where, again, like, I still, the late first game I was playing, it was like, okay, keep in mind every time, or no, not even that, the second game I played, rather, never mind the first game, the second game I played was a hybrid deck that was half red, half black, so partial fire, partial, like, you know, sacrifice, death, stuff, etc. And every time someone put down land, I had to do 2 damage to them and then heal 2 and then heal 2 for me. Or every time once I had another guy out, every time it became someone's turn, it was the upkeep phase, they were to take 1 damage, and then I draw a card. And then I had, like, multiple things on the field that just, like, are you paying attention to everything everyone's doing? And if you're doing this in real life and it's not a computer, it's not a Steam version, you have to fucking remember a billion things about what's happening and make sure you're countering everyone's thing. Otherwise, you could potentially lose a winning roll or win a losing roll. And it, like, for example, I went home, and after the fact, James was like, oh, by the way, we forgot to do something. That means you would have won the second game as well, actually. And this part is a lot. And I assume that by getting familiar with every card over the years and everything like that, this becomes second nature and thus gets more fun. But initially, that first level of just like, okay, this is a lot to keep in mind here. I definitely feel like I would much prefer a moment of, like, I guess, again, playing it on a computer so you don't have to deal with all the rule memorization after the fact, right?
I feel like the entire premise of, like, the digital card game was to have the fucking computer resolve all this nonsense.
Yep.
Like that, like like 90% of the push for that. Like fuck not having to print out cardboard or whatever. Just have the fucking computer do it. I don't know how the fuck. Like everyone's gonna argue about these rules.
Yeah, again, by the late game, I've got like 8 forests in front of me, and then I've got 3 artifacts in the middle row, and then the top row is like 5 attacking things, and some of them are sideways, and then one of them has a couple cards underneath it because it's been added to with armor and other buffs and things, and then this other one has a dice on it that you're rotating every time someone takes a turn because it's getting +1, +1, +1, +1. You need to keep then eventually, and you're just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And, and in those moments, especially picking up a card that I'm reading for the first time and holding them in my hands. And one of the cards that James played was like, there's no limit to how many cards can be in your hand. So originally you hold 7 and you always have to discard until you are, got 7 at the end of your turn. This thing means actually that's gone. Fuck that. And so you actually are just holding 20 fucking cards in your hand.
That seems
reading
really
each one,
that
going, well, what am I going to play? And
This feels like it creates the situation that like large D&D parties run into. You're like, yeah, we're doing an adventure with 9 people. It takes an hour and a half to do 1 round of combat.
So what I will say is in the end, after having the rules explained and after kind of just getting the like casual sort of turn by turn thing of it, it was really fun. I had a lot of fun with it. This is, my proper like simplified version of Magic the Gathering that I'm being introduced to here that I enjoyed all these years later. And all it takes is, a 4-way free-for-all kind of situation, and me removing the deck building entirely from the game. Being handed 100 cards and going, hey, this is your character. I'm like, great.
Yeah, that seems
awesome.
Appealing by default.
Super cool.
That
way on board with that.
Appealing.
That's what I loved about Yomi. That's what I loved about a lot of the games that I did get into, was just the pick a character, there it is. Now learn your moves, And from the other thing that's nice about this too is that like whereas regular Magic has a whole bunch of rules about what is active and what has been retired and what's banned and so on, Commander, I think there's only like I was told 8 banned cards or something like that. And cool. They're just really insane old nutso play cards. Like one of them is like, hey, you get a second turn right now. And it's like, oh,
that's pretty good.
That's insane. That's stupid.
That's pretty good.
Make that go away. That I get that. That's a silly, like, that's game ending. Especially since there's much more than that. Okay, well then I suppose I'm getting that wrong then. But the number of cards banned in Commander,
a game based on rules lawyering, has many people willing to correct you.
The number of cards banned in Commander is apparently much lower than the number of cards banned in the regular thing, and also you don't have like older cards that are not allowed to be played anymore. So like some of the cards that I saw in the deck were like wrong font, old Magic the Gathering box text and everything from fucking years and years ago, and they were. I gotta
tell you, man. I gotta be real honest with you. That ban list is really interesting. Mm-hmm. But like, I've played a bunch of games that have worked around this to some degree, and if I had a card that I really liked and it got banned at a tournament, I would just stop playing that game fucking forever. Mm-hmm. Because the breakdown of events would be, I would like to use my card in this tournament, and like, you can't, it's banned. And I'm like, are you gonna pay me for the fucking money I spent on this fucking card?
Right, exactly. You bought that to participate in this game.
I bought that with money.
Yes, that's upsetting, and that's part of what I don't like about this whole setup of like, you have to spend to play, to participate, right? There's this level of that. And if you did buy that card, now here's what I will say. I find it way more reasonable if a card is banned for being too busted to be competitive, as opposed to, we just want you to keep playing the up-to-date versions, so we're going to retire everything before this cutoff date, right? That's the shit that's actually hostile, where it's like you have no reason to make that to make this deck unplayable, except for we want to encourage you to keep buying new shit.
This is the entire argument behind why I was so adamantly against sunsetting in Destiny 2.
It's evil. It's anti-consumer evil
and then
shit.
They went and did it, and it killed the game.
Sure. I just like that is the most, like, especially in a whole thing where like collecting and like, God, how greedy do you have to fucking be? Like you
have to be a businessman, so you have to be greedy.
You already have people.
Speaking of which, the shirts are for sale at orchid8.com. You can get more shirts now, and a desk mat. It's a nice desk mat.
You can get them now. But you know what? What if I told you that some of those titles are going to get phased out over time? What if we started updating the shirt versions?
Well, we got to wait 350 more episodes. And
that's what I'm saying.
Do a sequel to the shirt,
and then eventually, when the titles on the shirt, on the legacy shirt, available now at orchid8.com, when that starts at 350, then we will ban you from wearing the first version of the shirt.
Yeah, no. You can't wear that first one anymore.
It's
deprecated.
It's crazy to me that I'll take a thing that I've purchased and then you do that. Now
you may no longer play the original 8 World Warriors in the Street Fighter V tournament.
No, not even that. The DLC you bought is banned.
Oh yeah, Season 1 of Street Fighter 6 DLC, no longer viable.
You bought that separate from the base game, and now you can't use it.
Actually, that's a way better example, because a lot of card plays do that, where it's like the base set is forever.
Yes.
And it's just whatever the theme sets are.
That are rotating. Yeah. Again, Teppen is my reference point there. It sucks, man. It's such fucking garbage. It's not about the rules. It's not about you making them balanced or unbalanced. It's entirely based on keep spending money, piggy, you know? So anyway.
Bro, I fucking miss Runeterra so bad. I'm so fucking pissed off that died. Every time we talk about a card.
Yeah. And there were, and then I know too that, like, you know, in that example, so there was unlimited modes where it's like, here's a different version of the game you can play that includes everything if you want to, and that's separate from what's considered the tournament official legal version, you know. But if you want to do an unlimited version or so, you can do that as well. Obviously, I do know that you can do whatever the fuck you want with your cards and your friends, but describing what is being pushed officially by the company as being shitty like this and anti-consumer, like I hate that shit, you know. But anyways, Commander is a really fun way to get, you know, to learn the ropes on Magic the Gathering and to learn how that goes. And like there's something to, like, after seeing a million movies and hearing the and all the bits and all the jokes about it, actually having that moment of like playing Emergent Woodworm. I play Emergent Woodworm, which gives +3 to the Great Worm, which lets me dig 19 cards into my deck because this card is 1919. And by going my 19 cards into the deck, I can find just about whatever I need. And I pull out and actually having that like moment is like, it's a little surreal, you know? And I guess the other thing too is like the level I guess that we're playing at was such that, you know, even the folks that are familiar there that were at the table, like not everybody knew every single card and definitely had to pick up and go, wait, what's the wording on that? Does that say that? It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. So in a very casual preset deck kind of way, I'm down to play Magic the Gathering. But these are my conditions on it, you know? I want items, not Final Destination. I want big head mode on.
I would like to play party mode. Thank you.
Yes, please. Yeah. But it is that played some Commander and had a few beers and had a good time.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
And last, I'll just talk a little bit about I played not too much of. I just checked out this game called Your Crown Is Mine.
All right.
And it is a indie visual novel where you are, so it starts out and you are the love interest of a prince who you are a couple, and then you get broken up with because you are bad for public image, and the prince is going to be elected to be king, So you're in a world where essentially there's like democratic autocracy, and you get broken up with, and so the prince then goes towards the poor girl who becomes the new kind of like fiance that's, you know, ready to be the new princess, the new queen. And you go, yeah, well, fuck you then. And you become the villainess, and you decide that you are going to get your revenge not only by also running to be ruler of the country, but you are also going to try and manage the stats of the nation, balance and everything, and balance your love life, which includes potentially cucking the man who broke up with you by stealing his girl as well, and potentially quad romancing 4 different people at the same time. Yeah, so
this is not a game I thought you were going to talk to me about playing.
Well, that's what it is, right?
Huh.
Seems like, yeah, premise sounds fun.
This looks like just Uma Musume, but with princesses instead of horses.
Sure, yeah, and you're a princess with a chip on your shoulder. You want some revenge, and if you can, again, quad romance all romantic interests, including getting revenge on the one who fucking broke up with you, while managing the nation, or potentially ruining the nation with your decisions because war is about to break out, and at the same time balancing your stats and so on and so forth, then yeah, why not? It's ultimately, I can feel the Ren'Py engine underneath it, so it's a bit like Slay the Princess and stuff, where it's actually like it's scripted in a way that's not as complex as it sounds. But yeah, it was it seemed all right. Just taking an initial glance at it, and I might take a look more at that, perhaps on stream or so, simply because you being the asshole and having justified reason to do so, and potentially steering the nation to its doom, while running your villainous polycule or whatever's going on.
Steering the nation towards doom has an appeal.
Yeah, steer the nation towards doom out of jilted revenge. Run your polycule, steal your girl, except your Mrs. Steal your girl here, and build up your stats and do your S-links at the same time.
How'd this end up on your plate?
Saw the trailer and was like, yeah,
that's it.
What's going on?
Huh.
I think someone might have, did someone mention it? I don't know if someone mentioned it or if it popped up somewhere. I think I just saw a trailer pop up and I just was like, yeah, let me see what that's about. That's it.
Okay.
And yeah, you've got 15 different endings or so to potentially get through. So it is interesting because they pretty much tell you right as you start it that they're like, you should try playing and just, doing whatever you feel like it and seeing which ending you get. However, click here for a guide to exactly what stats to get you to what ending if you're looking for a particular thing. So it's straight up, and it straight up has a button to just like go like, if you want to get through past this or do this or that, here's where you can do that. And I suspect that's there because of the romantic side of things. And I imagine that if somebody's particularly interested in a certain ending or wants to get a certain romantic side pushed, they might not be on board with everything that romantic side locks out or includes. So you can just click there to see it if you'd like as a part of the game. But they still say like, no, but try it yourself though. So we'll see. Might pop that in. Might take a look at that. This week is going to be a bit of a weird schedule. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm going to be off.
Let's go off.
Wednesday, we're going to be doing Final Fantasy 14.
That's correct.
Thursday, really short stream. Got some stuff in the afternoon. And it's all, and again, like there's also Fantasia's happening, and Reggie's going to be making out to a bunch of those. So,
cool.
Schedule's going to be a little bit touch and go. So we're probably going to play a bit of, probably finish off Ace Attorney 2, do a short stream and wrap that up if that's what happens. And then we'll be back on Saturday as well with another short stream, but that's going to be a kind of more of a hangout chat, get into fighting games. We're going to be talking to Keats, who made a Game Balance Is Not Real video that was pretty good. And just going to be, yucking it up and talking a bit more about game balance and getting into stuff with that. So come hang out. Should be a fun discussion over on Willie Versus on Twitch and on YouTube.
Over on my end, the week is going to be... I'm starting at 7 p.m. Pacific nowadays. It's going to be FF14 with the girls on a couple of days. It's going to be Power World. And of note is that this Friday, the Marvel Tokon beta is coming out. So I'm going to hit that hard, as well as Friday night at 1 a.m. in the morning on the fucking 25th is the Berlin FF14 Fan Fest. So that means that I will be doing another 24-hour one starting at 8 with Tokon. Paige is going to come over in the afternoon. We haven't decided what we're going to do yet, but it'll be something fun. And then in the late evening, Mint and I think Hina and Ecto are going to hop on the call to do FanFest, where we're going to find out more at the Berlin show. Probably, I would like to see some Scholar stuff, personally, and some Dark Knight stuff, but who knows. Okay. And that's it for me this week. That's over at twitch.tv/PatStairs and youtube.com/PatStairs.
Yeah, for myself with Tokon and Avatar, which are going to be happening, I'm mostly going to have to wait till next week to take a look. Not going to have the time, unfortunately.
How long is the beta?
I think it's just for the weekend, right? And then and then Avatar's actually out. All right, let's take some quick words from our sponsors. This week, Castle Super Beast is brought to you by ourselves. If you go to orchid8.com
us
and go to the Castle Super Beast section, you will see the new Legacy shirt, which is the shirt made up of all the titles of every episode so far into a really cool Castle Super Beast logo. And it's great. Really happy with that design. One of my sterling again, legacy moments of just you can wear this shirt and every morning you can take a look and see whatever title crosses your vision first, and it'll be that type of day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought I had one within reach, but
I don't know.
Just look, today feels like a Windows 11 go die kind of day,
Oh, that's every day.
Especially when Tokon is forcing me to install it.
Oh, you're gonna install Windows 11 just to play the Tokon beta?
No, I am not.
Okay, I was like, all right.
Fuck no, but it's on the minimum requirements, and I was like, oh yeah? Interesting. Funny how that goes. Let's see how that works out. Those requirements are strangely high.
I'm not surprised.
Anyway. orchid8.com/collections/castle-super-beast. This podcast is also sponsored by AG1. So, yes, it is very important, I think, that, you gotta get your greens in your body. You can't just You can't
tell me what to do. I should, though.
You should get... you got to get your gut health. You got to get your immune health. You got to get your vitamins. You got to get your pre- and probiotics, your superfoods, antioxidants. There's a bunch of stuff that's difficult to track and make sure that you're getting, but your body will feel better when you get it, and especially getting older, you can wake up in the morning and tell what you're missing sometimes. So, yeah, AG1 is really awesome at helping you maintain that. And it's just one scoop plus some water, 8 ounces. Shake them up, and it tastes great. And that's it. That's your fill. I feel like I know that I try consistently to get more greens in my diet every day, and I'm making those choices. But there are times when I'm negligent about it, and this makes it pretty easy to do. Next Gen formula delivers 75 plus ingredients as well. So, I mean, I'm down for my gut health to improve. I'm down for filling in the nutrient gaps. Not to mention, too, that you like when you have it's also one of those things where like because it tastes good in the morning, I'm kind of like looking forward to it, like when I'm like, oh yeah, wake up in the morning, add that to the routine, and that's nice. So you got that with you can get it in scoops, or you can get the simple pouches as well, which are real easy to do. Just add it to the water. So you want to visit drinkag1.com/superbeast, and you'll get a free AG1 travel case with 7 free AG1 travel packs in your welcome kit with your first AG1 subscription order while supplies last. That's drinkag1.com/superbeast. Thanks, AG1.
Thanks, AG1.
This week, the podcast is sponsored by Factor. And yes, again, you should be concerned with what goes into your body. And you also want to do so in a way that's not that time consuming. And it sucks when you're going through the groceries and you're trying to calculate and figure out, and you're like, this is probably good for me, right? And it's frozen, and oh no, I forgot it, and now I'm too tired to defrost it. And also, by the time you do it, it tastes bad, because I'm not a chef or a dietitian. I don't know. Factor meals. You can get healthy and great tasting meals delivered straight to your door, and you can get a lot of options as well that are always fresh, never frozen. They've got 100 rotating weekly meals with globally inspired flavors. You always got something to look forward to. Mediterranean or Asian, whatever your particular flavors are. If you're like salads, if you want vibrant ingredients, you've got tons to choose from, and 70 plus add-ons as well, so you can round out your nutrition from green juices to peanut butter energy bites, all of that. And it's ready in 2 minutes, so Factor shops, preps, cooks, and delivers straight to your door. So you got more time for everything that you need to do and get around to with your day. It is nice to have something like that after a long day where I don't want to think about it. I just want to eat, and I want it to taste good and hopefully be healthy. And they got all that covered. So what you want to do is head to factormeals.com/castle50off and use code castle50off. You'll get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscription only while supplies last until September 27th, 2026. You can see the website for more details. Once again, you want to go to factormeals.com/castle50off, and you'll get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscription only while supplies last until September 27th, 2026. See the website for more details. Thank you, Factor.
Thank you, Factor.
Last but not least, this podcast is sponsored by Quince. And Quince has been a regular of my clothing ever since I got to feel... It's a mouthful, but I saw something called Mongolian cashmere, and I'm like, word? Am I fancy enough to be allowed? Am I allowed? And I went for it, and it felt really nice, and it felt lightweight, and it was something that was like, I can wear this in the summer, and it's a preferable way to go. Breathable material, quite good, and it was smooth and soft enough that even baby is like rubbing up and grabbing and being like, yeah, and she's grabbing the material there. I'm like, okay, that's cozy. That works out. So you got well-made essentials, and they're great and comfy all season long. If you're looking for some breathable linen pants, they got 100% European linen pants that are easy to throw on, for example. If your summer rotation needs something like that, they got them starting at just $34. And again, lightweight cotton sweaters are exactly what you want when the summer nights cool down too. So I, in fact, enjoyed that first Mongolian cashmere sweater, and I went back and I got another one. Just because I wanted to. I'm like, nah, this feels great. I'm enjoying it. I want to get a second one. So make your summer wardrobe easier. Go to quince.com/superbeast for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. It's now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/superbeast for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/superbeast. Thank you, Quince.
Thank you, Quince.
Okay. What's happening in the news? Well, I already asked you about Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, and we talked a bit about it, but that footage has leaked, and astronauts with keyblades. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fucking silly.
It is what it is. That aside, something else. We're coming off of a bit of 2 weeks of this because, admittedly, last week with the specs on, we did not have time to cover all the news. So we're gonna go back to some of the stuff we missed, including Microsoft loses Brazilian court case after telling hacked Xbox user to repurchase games. So,
yeah, that's bullshit.
It's kind of nuts. This is there's almost a okay, the feel good story would be that Microsoft was ordered to pay for to restore the account with all the games and to pay $400 in damages. However, it's insane that it even hit this point and that this was something that could happen with them to begin with.
Yeah.
The short end of it, essentially, someone was posting on Reddit. They shared a screenshot of it, but they had two-factor on their account, and a hacker got through that. And once the servers detected that someone else was acting suspicious on the account, they flagged it and banned the account permanently. None of the recovery options allowed him to regain access.
Why does that, hey, I think somebody might have slashed your tires. I'm going to set your car on fire. How is that the solution?
Buy a new car, asshole.
This account has unauthorized use. Kill it so that... What? Why? How is that?
Yep, shouldn't have got hacked, moron. Well, anyway, were your key was the car locked? Yes. And the security system was on? Yes. Okay, well, not our problem. Fuck you.
Somebody might have stolen your car for a day and put it back, so to stop that, we're going to burn it.
Yeah, so apparently this is not necessarily a precedent setting, though, because Brazil has a very strong consumer defense code, and it basically fast tracks small claims and things like this. And you can bring cases like this in Brazil without a lawyer and without paying court costs. Which
cool.
is pretty fucking sick, actually.
That's awesome.
I had no idea that was a thing. So yeah, basically
good job, Brazil.
Yeah, the user was able to just bring this case straight to Microsoft, and the judge was able to just look at it, call it what it was, and go, nope, Microsoft has 15 days to fix this problem, return the account with all games and everything on it, and pay the 10% penalty imposed. And it's just it's a particular thing to Brazil, but they have to abide by it. Insane and stupid that it would even have to get to that point. I would love to see this type of policy, obviously, adopted everywhere. Yes, good shit, Brazil. And then continuing on the what the fuck is wrong with corporate train.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Backrooms yet, but I hear it's pretty interesting.
Oh man, I love this story so much, dude. I love this story so much.
I've been recommended to check it out because I hear there's some stuff there that might be cool. But one thing I do know is that the Backrooms has been a massive hit, and the movie was a big breakout moment because it was something that was being directed by the actual YouTube creator.
Kane Pixels.
Kane Pixels, exactly. And being a success at the box office and all that stuff. Awesome, right? That's cool that can happen. And so what happens alongside that? Well, because this is now an owned property, the Backrooms is an A24 IP. Suddenly, people who have had Backrooms-related stuff, wallpaper designs, shirts on Redbubble...
years and years and years and years and years and years.
Because the Backrooms has been, for anyone who doesn't know, an online, community-driven series forever, are now getting copyright struck.
And Kane is having to intervene on individual cases as the director and arguing with the company, being like, what are you doing? You don't own any of this.
Yep.
I don't own any of it when we made the movie.
And so he is saying too as well that like the people he spoke to at A24 did say that they were like all about the community, and you know they want to not interject themselves into that or ruin that or whatever the fuck.
There's a great interview where I forget, I caught a clip of it, but this lady is interviewing him prior to the release of the movie, going, hey, are you worried at all that once the movie is out that the movie studio will decide that they own the back rooms and start copyright striking everyone? And he's like, I can't possibly see that happening. That's just so unreasonable. And it's like, that happens every time this happens.
Is it this is owned by the internet? Well, it's owned by me now. No, and it expanded. It's not just so it started with the shirts on Redbubble and wallpapers and whatever, but then they started copyright striking games and backrooms related fan games and indie projects.
There are two, like, you can buy it backrooms video games on Steam right now.
Yeah, the Complex is one of them.
No, there's backrooms and Escape from the Backrooms.
Okay. Beyond just that, and yeah, so they're fucking with games and so on, and there is follow-up where yes, people informing Kane about this. He said that he thinks that this is that they said they never were they were very adamant that they never wanted to touch the community. They're very much on the side of the community, and he believes that this is mistakes being made either by third party legal, you know, or whatever the case is, like automatic A24 protection from trying to take down cam rips, right?
I think that it's a real the backrooms thing is particularly interesting.
Yeah,
because you know what? Fuck it. Let's give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Because of the nature of the visual aesthetic of the backrooms, it's really hard to tell if this is a movie knockoff or its own thing, because it's a bunch of fucking featureless liminal spaces.
Exactly.
That all look exactly the same.
And they're the whole thing about the liminal spaces and the backrooms and the way the architecture is designed is it's meant to evoke a familiar feeling of somewhere you've kind of been before, but with unease to it. So it's real wallpaper and real carpeting and it's real shit that you'll see in a fucking dentist's office, you know? Like, this is all just out there, but because corporate acts the way it does, and it's just this, you know, mindless beast that goes out and, you know, it's like, okay, we have an IP to protect, so now we're just going to go attack everything. You're going into a thing where, to begin with, this was community created. It's insane. The thread I'm looking at here has him saying, like, okay, the wallpaper thing should be fixed. Any legitimate action of sorts suspected is unacceptable. So he's basically going back to the studio and fighting to have them pull back their machines, robots, and lawyer dogs that are attacking everybody. But it seems like while they're pulling back the first couple of cases here, it's continuing to expand elsewhere. And the game stuff, he's like, they don't even know who's responsible for that. What branch or what arm of the tentacle is reaching out into the games and going after those creators, you know?
This reminds me, do you have the Pocket Pair Nintendo lawsuit news for this week on here?
No.
Because it's tangentially related. So Nintendo is, remember we talked about how they looked like they were going to win the lawsuit for the patent and maybe make $40,000?
No money to be made, yep.
There has been a wrinkle. The Japanese patent office last week rejected Nintendo's patent for throwing a ball and capturing a monster because there is a Pokemon fan game that exists like 10 years before they filed the patent. So they can Pokemon fan game based off Pokemon that it was not sold that the Japanese patent office was aware of. And so they go, well, that fan game had you throwing balls to catch the monster. You didn't invent it for a game when you filed this patent. Somebody else already did it. And, like, this is wild. Because I would be like, but Nintendo did invent it in the show and the game, but they didn't file the patent for it back in the 90s.
They're filing it now. Yeah. Oh my god. So then Pocket Pair
that means Pal World didn't get it from Pokemon. It got it from this Pokemon fan game.
And they pulled it out already, but they could add it back if they wanted.
Oh, it's back. You throw balls to catch.
Okay,
you don't throw balls to release.
This is how much fucking ass and taint do you have to have exposed at this point? Like, that's crazy. They're losing in every single fucking corner of this thing.
Total waste of time for Ultraman has throwing a ball out. Yeah, that's right. Ultraman does. Okay, so yeah, Nintendo didn't invent any of this. They're just trying to copyright the back rooms over here. Like straight up.
Wow. And in the meantime, yeah, they go to 1.0 and they're fucking raking it in even more, it seems. So
yeah, I gotta say, I'm pretty sure I said it back in the day, but there's a great Sterling video called "Why It's Always." What it's called, like "Why It's Always Okay to Infringe on Nintendo's Copyright," or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the long and short of it is that Nintendo really doesn't want you to use anything that's theirs, but they'll copyright claim videos that don't feature anything of their games in them to try and steal your ad revenue. So Nintendo thinks it's totally fine to commit copyright infringement on you, just not for you to inflict it on them.
Yeah. No, and not to mention, again, the emulators and the fucking, like, all of that.
Oh, yeah, the name of the video is, quote, "Why It's Always Ethical to Pirate Nintendo Games," end quote.
And with this same energy, though, I remember, was it Pal Land that was the Pal World ripoff?
Oh, I don't remember that.
That's
really funny.
Where
That's
it was
really
like,
funny.
And it's like, you can't, they can't say shit either. Even though that one in particular was extra scummy because they were stealing models from fan-created Pokemon online and stuffing it in the game and some other generated bullshit. But the idea of the Pal World ripoff, like, Pocket Pair does have to hold that. Right?
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
I just typed in Pal World into Steam, and one of the results that came up is Pal World with a heart more than just pals. And it's a dating game where you fuck the Lovander? Or
sure,
what? Like,
sure.
what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That checks out. Wasn't there... What was I looking up the other day? I was looking up something and hit a fucking visual novel Aero game wall on Steam that I was not ready for. Anyway.
That part of Steam is it's too much.
It's powerful. It's been there.
There's a lot in there, and you look at it and you're like, my takeaway is always, wow, there's a lot of this highly specific thing in there.
Yeah, I want to say we did talk about this, right?
There are at least 2 games called Sex with Hitler, which is one more than I would have ever expected.
But it's weird that it happened twice.
It is.
Anyway. All right, so besides that...
there are 3. My mistake.
So... just before we started, something called DCKO just got announced, and it appears to be...
You mean DiCKO?
DiCKO got announced. This is a mobile fighting game featuring your DC characters. I guess it's... a bit of a wasted
I would like to give us a solemn golf clap for DC managing to make up a worse
name than 2XKO.
2XKO
DiCKO
by
mode.
making a name similar to 2XKO, which sucks, that literally reads DiCKO.
DiCKO mode.
I'm going to play DiCKO on my phone.
So, to be fair, I guess, this game, the DCKO is actually, it's not a game. This existed. It's a current event happening in the DC comics universe where they're basically setting up a fight tournament between all characters.
Sure.
Right. And it's been going on for a while alongside. I was seeing a lot of that going on while I was keeping up with the Absolute stuff. And the premise of this being like a big old fight tournament with all your characters and such is a cool one. It definitely seems like the perfect thing to build a fighting game around, better than Injustice as an idea. It's unfortunate that it's kind of getting wasted as a little mobile game here, because
you wanted a bigger, more higher budget DiCKO.
I think DiCKO had the potential to go all the way if they really believed in it.
I don't think that's true for even 1 second.
They only believe in DiCKO for your pocket, and they don't believe in DiCKO on the big screen. And I
guess you're right.
I believe DiCKO on the big screen had potential.
Bro, DC has been just shitting their ass with games forever lately. Just crazy garbage over and over and over. The last good one was fucking Batman Arkham Knight in 2014. What the fuck is going on?
What did I see? I saw a preview for Superman.
Oh, Lego Batman. Okay. I forgot that came out. What about Injustice 2, Kane? What about Injustice 2? The only reason Injustice 1 and 2 should get to exist is so that you can look at compilations of all the things the characters say to each other at the beginning of the match.
Those are really good.
Yeah, no, that's the best thing in that game.
Those are great. Yeah, I remember I saw a few preview pages of stuff that was going on in the DCKO comics, and they the death tournament the characters are fighting. There's moments where I think Superman I think they're doing Dragon Ball moves. I think they're unleashing forms and doing specials and installs in the fight. So all of that sun-fueled knuckle dusters, right? And that's the type of shit where I'm like, well, fuck, that would have been super cool in a game. I
saw one panel of that comic, and it was the right panel. And it was regular-ass Batman looking at Absolute Batman saying, that's the ugliest Bat logo I've ever seen. And then he pulls out a big axe.
Yeah.
And he goes, what do you think about it now? And he goes, it's growing on me. And I'm like, that's actually really great.
I covered it a little bit a while ago, but the Absolute shit is the best, man. It's the best it's been. It's so fucking cool.
When Absolute Batman ends its run, I will definitely hop on reading Absolute Batman, because everything I've heard from everyone that's read it is this is the
phenomenal
shit.
Fucking phenomenal. Truly the premise of what if we inserted Berserk energy into Batman and then delivered on it. It's great. But also, not just that, Wonder Woman is also really good, which is also with Berserk energy. But
I've seen some of the panels from New Wonder Woman, and it looks a little bit more than a little bit Berserk energy.
Yeah, she's literally holding a Buster Sword. She's literally she's got a Dragon Slayer. Mm-hmm. And Martian Manhunter as well. That just, I believe that ended and is a full run complete. And Martian Manhunter is completely different energy from the other two I was describing, but also super duper interesting and fucking amazing. Really well done narratively. Those three in particular were standout, just quality runs. Anyway, yeah, DiCKO could have been more. but you got what you got.
Could have had more DiCKO, but they were cowards. They wouldn't give you the DiCKO.
And you got look. The DiCKO is on it's a smaller format than you would have hoped. I wanted DiCKO at home on the big screen.
Keep DiCKO in your pocket.
But it's just, you
can take DiCKO anywhere.
It's portable. It is portable. But because it's smaller, you also can't you can't get a good grasp on the controls. You can't get more advanced things going. It's not really going to be legit.
It's hard to do quarter circle in the DiCKO.
It's pretty rough, man. So I don't know what kind of simplified version of it we're going to get, but I was ready for something more robust.
Can we pull out for a second? Can we pull out on the DiCKO conversation just a little bit and just back up a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Nintendo announced the Wii, right? And they straight up had announced it way in advance of anything else. And I remember Reggie saying more or less all right, guys, get it out of your system.
Exactly. Yeah.
The name works. The name works in
I want to
say
not Reggie. I think it was Perrin Kaplan who specifically was yes, you laugh about it now. You'll get used to it.
And that was the right move. But I don't know how this shit gets to go through so many people without remember X-Bone and how X-Bone was literally 1 millisecond after the announcement, and then you saw a bunch of interviews where they're we actually got caught off guard, we never thought anyone would say this, please do not use that term.
Sure, no problem. And then right around the corner XX immediately afterwards.
And you're anyone would just look at this in a second and just go DiCKO.
Yep.
And it's always something wow, what? Why would you call it that? Maybe because that's what it looks like with your eyes. Bad interface, bad kerning, bad whatever.
I mean, look, again, the fact that they didn't have enough confidence to push this all the way through to be a bigger title, to me, that's small DiCKO energy.
It is. Yeah, they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough.
They didn't believe
behind the DiCKO to make.
They didn't believe.
They
didn't believe. They didn't have the confidence to just walk in there and just be slap it on the table. This is what we're doing. Proper big release. This thud, big GDD right on the table. They didn't do it. They didn't feel it. So they kind of walked in and they just moused their way into the corner.
Bro, mobile games are such an absolute endless wasteland of a sewer. It's it feels really strange to be not horribly addicted to gambling right now. Does that not feel strange to you with how it seems like everyone else is just horribly addicted to gambling? And how a wide variety of new things that people do are actually just gambling substitutes.
I mean, look, we all have our things. Personally, I'm doing my best, and I feel currently succeeding at fighting against my brain's dopamine hit receptors getting fucked over completely. I'm still it's a battle that leads to nothing and nowhere, but I'm still just no TikTok. I'm not doing it. But I know that within a very short period of time, every game I play will have mandatory gambling being a part of it. I know that's going to happen. It's just
FF14 has gambling in it, but it's gambling with your time in a social context. You're not gambling with your money. You're not putting anything up.
I am, but it is, I know, a losing battle.
Can we take a 2-second break? I gotta use the bathroom.
BRB.
Okay, it's gonna be more than 2 seconds. I'm not just gonna sit here and piss silently, but gonna go to the bathroom.
I mean,
can you go to be right back?
It all depends on what kind of DiCKO energy you bring to the bathroom. It all depends on what kind of DiCKO energy you bring to the bathroom, Pat. Okay.
Bro, the fucking website is playdicko.com.
Play DiCKO all day, baby. Play DiCKO all day.
I gotta look at something here. I fucking because this is a comic series, right?
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's
okay,
an event.
I'm seeing. You know what I'm seeing?
Mm-hmm.
DCKO. The logo is DC in a little circle.
Correct.
And underneath it is a gigantic KO.
Yes.
It's never written, and there's a space. It's never written DiCKO on any of these comics, right? But for some reason, the fighting game decided to just slap every letter next to them to make DiCKO.
So there's a couple versions of it. The usual one it's more clear because it's the DC logo and then the words KO underneath it, right? So what's an example here? Like this. This is actually what you usually see. It's the DC.
That's what I'm talking about. With the circle with the
Detective
DC.
Comics logo, and then exactly. Knockout, like it just when you put them side by side.
Is DiCKO going to be free to play? It should be.
I mean, damn, if you're paying, like, that's unfortunate.
Don't pay for DiCKO. You can get DiCKO anywhere for free.
You have DiCKO installed. You already have DiCKO. You have DiCKO. It came free. DiCKO came free. All right.
Bro, if I was like a diehard DC guy, I'd be so fucking like sad about seeing trailer for DCKO and it's DiCKO and it's a mobile game the same week that fucking Tokon's getting an open beta.
But that's exactly my point. Like the actual in-comic event is so much cooler as an idea and a perfect premise to launch a game franchise. But I mean, unless they just ignore it and just move past it and do it again. But like whatever, like NetherRealm is working on or so, it's like, yeah, fuck that. It should be this. Like, and also good and not bad. Mm-hmm. Anyway. So, other cursed production news. I don't know what to expect of this, and I can't say I was expecting anything good, but it really sucks hearing what the fuck is going on the God of War set. That's a bummer, man. I feel bad for that dude. So Ryan Hurst was cast as Kratos, and he injured his bicep, and it was so severe,
quite badly,
that they had to shut down production, and the recovery time is so long that they have to recast him and reshoot the entire series. Because tearing your bicep is a serious fucking thing.
It's very serious, yeah.
And because they're also, it's Dad of War, so Atreus is there and is of a particular age. He's growing up every day, every minute, every hour.
Yeah, they're gonna have to reshoot the episodes, and they might have to reshoot more of Atreus' scenes, like all of his as well, because he might, like, you can't have him look like 8 months older in the first episode than he does in a different shot in the second episode.
Straight up, right? If you're approaching a year or many, many months between when production last stopped and then where you're picking up now, you're going to see it. You might even hear it in his voice, It's obviously, it's really tricky, like, having kids of a certain age and stuff. So just really fucking cursed on that, man. That's a bummer, Now's
the time to put Chris Judge in there. Come on, let's go.
Well, there you go. Get the makeup on and go for it, right? Yeah, so that they're starting from scratch on that. And, I saw some people were initially saying that, like, they must be pretty early in production if they're choosing to go this route. And it's like, no, it sounds like they had months and months of filming done. So
they had 4 episodes done
in the can. That's
so
crazy.
They have to reshoot every scene featuring the main character for 4 of like 10 episodes.
That's crazy. Oh man. In any case, alongside that, again, continuing your Sony curse somewhat. I don't know if you've seen PlayStation's recent social media, but
I have not.
Every single social post they're making is getting blown the fuck up, as the replies and community notes, etc., are all just coming in, going essentially what Mighty Keith said. Reverse the digital-only decision, fuck nigga. Like, just like everybody is mad.
Because one of the things that people say is like, what does protesting do? like in general, like in society, right? Because it's just being annoying. And what a lot of people don't understand is that being really annoying for a really long time is really fucking annoying.
Yeah. Yep.
And people in positions of all power that make shitty decisions because they don't care are the type of personalities that like lose their shit when people annoy them because they live unbothered lives. They live lives in which they can force everything to go their way, other than this one little thing like people protesting outside of a government building or a restaurant or shitting all over every social media tweet. Because that thing with the physical is going to go on fucking forever.
Years.
It's going to go on for years if they don't change it.
And I think that a lot of the times these announcements come hand in hand with an expectation of like, we're going to take the blowback and we'll just tank it, right? However, I would say that what feels like it's most effective with what you're describing is when there's someone who is tangential to the situation that was not expecting or looking for any blowback whatsoever, like MasterCard or Visa. And then them getting annoyed going, yo, we don't want the smoke. What the fuck is going on? We have no idea. Yo, we don't want... Like, that feels like the times where a more successful result occurs because they're not the company that is initially the one that the quarrel is with, but they're being affected by it, and then they're getting pulled in, and they're more willing to be like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but fix it, right? And yeah, this type of thing, you have to imagine internally the thought process is everyone will be big mad, but who cares? We just keep on. They'll deal with it because the financial implications are massive for this, you know?
Yeah, it's one of those things like, okay, let's say some dipshit businessman is the person who made the decision to kill Physical, right? Or the board or whatever the fuck. And you're like, well, they don't read any of the social media, yada, yada. It's not going to get to them. Oh, but it is, because middle management has to bring up marketing and insights and all this fucking shit to them. And every single fucking meeting where they go, hey, what are people saying about this? They're not saying anything. They're saying, fuck you, bring back physical games. Mm-hmm. And that's going to just continue forever. You're not just being annoying. You're also ruining the chance for a bunch of these people to get any usable data at all on anything that you might like. Because the only message is, fuck you.
So like here's this collection of like, here's a promotion post from PlayStation on Dench Attack, on Pro Jank Footy, on Spider-Man and Tokon, on Marvel's Wolverine, and all of them have just people just super pissed off going, fuck your digital only decision. It's completely destroying all of their current marketing, and you know, I'm pretty sure we've been on the internet long enough to know how like long the internet remembers shit. The tail is quite long on this. But I do wonder, like, if you have a moment like this where it's such a big decision, right? A massive chunk of production is being changed. A whole pipeline of how they deal with all these stores and so on is changing as well. You've already got like assholes like the fucking GameStop guy being like, oh, who cares? Physical never mattered to us anyway. We sell Funko Pops now, right? All of that is going in place. It feels like it.
Can I just grab a hold of that statement for a second?
Sure.
It would matter more to GameStop, and more people would still be buying physical games if the management at GameStop had not made buying games the worst experience in the world every time. Mm-hmm. Like, I actually place at the feet of the loss of like physical purchases and everything to go along with it exclusively at GameStop management in North America for making buying games actively miserable for like decades. Just horrible.
I mean, it's bad enough that like in general, you all like the fact that something digital it's right there, it's easy and convenient is something that you'd have to be fighting against anyways, but making it actively hostile towards you doesn't fucking help with brick and mortars for sure. Physical games are alive in Japan. Yep. Well, this is the thing. If they were to get peer pressured into reversing this kind of decision, right? You have to wonder if you would see some sort of like malicious compliance where they'd be like, okay, we will continue to make a few thousand copies of, whatever game.
I believe
or
the reason for the change has nothing to do with saving stuff on digital games. I think they just want to repurpose the factory that they use to print games for something to do with AI production.
Oh my god, I so easily would believe that. With no source, I believe that. I also think, though, that they're also planning for the PS6 to be discless.
Oh,
and that's just
obvious.
rolling through. So, there's a level here where of like, well, there is no disc because we will not be offering anything. I think that's also a big direction they're steering it towards. So yeah, there's a level here of like, there's a level here of like, the decision is so big that I kind of could see them just being stubborn enough to be like, nah, fuck it, too bad.
Oh, yeah.
And I can see it being like we talk about with DLC and these other microtransaction practices. One of like, we'll take the poison and we'll wait you out.
You're like, yeah, well, fuck you, Sony. You're not doing physical games. I'm gonna go buy an Xbox, and they. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Or buy a Switch copy. Or no. Yeah. Okay. Nope. Not quite. Anyway, beyond this, a couple other things here. Lego One Piece is a thing. I had no idea. There's apparently a special movie coming out that is, I believe the premise of this is Usopp explaining what happened in the first seasons of the Netflix series. And it's Usopp lying about like what is going on. So Wooly, this is Munsol's news. The trailer dropped today, did it not?
Trailer dropped today, man.
All right.
Don't be a dickhead.
There you go. So that's a pretty fun fit of a property.
Are we now up to like 4 different One Piece adaptations ongoing? And they're all covering the same part of the story?
Is that the case?
There's the live action, there's the new anime, and then there's the other new anime, and now there's this.
God damn, that's a lot of fucking One Piece. Well, this is a one-off, right? But still.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool. Cool fit. Good idea. Oh, you suck. Get out of here. Anyway. And then the Avengers Doomsday trailer dropped as well. And
bro, I watched that. Did you watch that?
I did watch it. I feel like... So, okay. Obviously, very curious to see what they're going to do with Doctor Doom and how that's going to go down and whatever, right? Are you going to live up to the expectations of what people want for this character, seeing as everything else has been eating shit? There's a really desperate feeling from this trailer that comes across like, if we don't win you back now... this MCU thing, this might be it, man.
So
they've ground all fucks into dirt.
What me and Paige watched the trailer this morning. The baby didn't even look at it, which is crazy. And he didn't even care to look at the stuff that was happening. And it really like, it really showed off exactly the formula that Marvel's using in like a very negative way. So like the MCU is solo movie that's supposed to be pretty good or decent, that gets you excited to have this solo character interact, or characters interact with the larger world, right?
Yep.
And I'm watching this fucking thing, and it's like Thor is narrating to Namor and
Shang-Chi.
Hold on. Namor and Shuri from the movie I didn't watch. The Thunderbolts from the movie I didn't watch. The Fantastic Four from their movie that I didn't watch. Shang-Chi from the one movie in that phase I skipped and didn't watch, Loki from the end of season 2, which I didn't watch, and like as I am coming, Gambit from the movie I did watch, I'm like, oh cool, good for Channing Tatum, he got to play his Gambit role. And it starts off with like the very first frame is Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. And those characters are from movies I didn't watch because they don't exist. Like those.
You're seeing the ones from it's the memories from the ones you did watch that they're trying to evoke.
But like that Cyclops and that are from movies that don't exist,
right?
Because they didn't have time to
the
make
MCU
them.
X-Men, the MCU X-Men,
right? And I'm like, wow, you're literally just showing me a bunch of action figures that I don't give a fuck about because all of their solo movies didn't interest me enough to watch them in the fucking first place. So the only thing I take away from that whole trailer is, wow, did Dr. Doom just pull an Eisen and stop Ichigo with one finger?
And then again, the guess of like the casting of like, are you just doing Evil Tony? You know, because is like that shits on Victor Von Doom, which is something that should be done well. It'd really, really, really suck if you fucked up Doom again after fucking up Doom before.
I think there's one thing about this that no matter what they do in this story, that they could fuck up Doom massively. And that's if they have to have a scene in which Reed Richards has to find out about who Doctor Doom is, then that movie is shit. If, like, because they're doing all this multiversal nonsense to make it work. If you have to have Reed Richards and fucking Ben and Sue and Johnny be like, Dr. Doom, who's that? Go to hell, bro. Like, are you like,
never heard of him?
One of the things about the MCU that always bothered me a lot, and I'm sure it bothered a lot of people, is like there were some characters that didn't get to do the thing that they get to do, which is Tony Stark is a drunk. Like Tony Stark should have had an entire film where the villain is alcoholism, because that's the most interesting thing about his character. The most interesting thing about Doctor Doom is how much he fucking hates Reed Richards.
So, I guess spoilers for shit in Fantastic Four, to just if you want to tune out. The end of Fantastic Four is there's a stinger for Doom being from that world, right? So, but that's all we know, is that he's there, and we don't know anything else about him or his introduction yet, or interaction with them, or so on.
People, by the way, everyone's saying that the devil in a bottle was Iron Man 2. No, he gets drunk in one scene.
It's not the complete. It's the speed run. It's the speed run version of.
When I'm talking about Iron Man's villain should be alcohol, I mean literally a movie with no supervillain at all, just alcohol.
Yeah,
that's
and look, it's in the same way that we speed run Planet Hulk in the middle of Thor Ragnarok, right? Like you just kind of you get the abbreviated version with a couple of highlights of the costume and a couple moments.
But yeah, no, this is a deck of cards. You have to have each card. Sorry, a house of cards. Every card has to be perfectly placed to get to the top, where I go, oh my god, all these characters are going to meet, and it's like, you know what? I don't give a fuck that Ben Grimm and M'Baku are going to hang out. I don't give a single solitary fucking shit.
And again, we did this, right? It's not like, even if you did or would have cared, we did this, and the trailer itself has Thor saying, "Yeah, so there have been higher stakes versions of this that mattered more, with people that I cared about more, with things that were, like this is
I don't
not
know who you." Bro.
Like, literally, just Thor is there going, yeah, guys, Endgame was a pretty big deal.
I think I'm going to go on a different path here.
Sure.
I think Gen Z is a good generation. Okay? They may not be able to read as good or aren't as smart and their social shit is weird. But you know what they are good at? Mean fucking comments on YouTube videos. Because when I looked at that trailer, the top fucking comment at the time summed it up so perfectly. It was the comment, 90% of this movie is going to be characters meeting each other.
Yeah.
Because none of these characters know who each other is.
And you got a lot of that out of the way in the previous Avengers movies, and then eventually in Infinity War. Honestly, so while MCU stuff has like, it was a box office dominator era for movies, and like everything could not be part of that, there was a very clear thing here that the only chance that this arc or follow-up to MCU stuff had of being good is if they showed restraint, which is impossible when you're doing the numbers they do, when you dominate the whole thing, and it all just becomes, we need to replace every existing movie franchise or series or actor with a new version that can just do the Guardians of the Galaxy thing again and again and again and again and again until people don't give a fuck, right? Showing restraint actually could have made people care by selectively choosing projects and keeping it sparing and keeping the quality high to eventually start building this kind of thing up again. But instead you get the exact opposite, where you go, not only are there a ton of movies you didn't go see, there's a bunch of shows you didn't watch as well.
It also was this kind of thing where each of them like lived and died on the successes and the failures of the last one. So I really liked that first season of Loki. Like, comic book aside, like I thought that was like a genuinely interesting show. But then I watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that became, okay, well, that was a massive waste of time. So if there's a fucking Marvel show, I'm going to wait till it's finished, and then everyone has to tell me that it's incredible for me to even bother turning it on. And then that never happened.
But I'm not even having that experience, because for me, I'm like, there's things that I liked about the Multiverse of Madness, the Doctor Strange movie. There's stuff I liked about WandaVision. There's a couple things I liked about Shang-Chi. But overall, there's too many things.
Yeah.
There's like, even if you do like actively are like, oh, that's all right, or that's cool.
A year, because one Marvel movie came out every year, and then now we went to 1.5 Marvel movies a year plus a TV show or two, and I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Even if it's fine, right? I've heard from many people about how good Thunderbolts is, and I've heard from many people about like Moon Knight being fun. You know, and
I saw Moon Knight; it was fun.
Yeah, and Oscar Isaac is fucking great. Like that dude
Oscar
rules.
Isaac carries it.
Yeah,
he carries it on his back.
That dude is Oscar Isaac is like
carries the whole fucking show on his back. It's crazy.
He's such a better actor than like the time he lives in.
Okay. I know what you mean. I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying to me. I know. I get it.
He's in the wrong era, and that sucks for him because he's so fucking talented. It's crazy. Anyway,
wasting him on fucking Star Wars and Marvel shit.
It sucks, dude. He's so much better than that. Yeah. Anyway, that is kind of the feeling of like, it's not even just top to bottom, like, fuck all this slop, it's all terrible. There's a bunch of stuff in there, but there's just too much. It's too much to care.
You know what?
Showing restraint is impossible for a fucking monster of this size.
But my favorite part of all of this is that we've gone from, I mean, people will say like, nobody cared about Iron Man prior to the Iron Man movie, and that's objectively true. He wasn't super popular, but people knew who the fuck Iron Man was, right? We've moved from like your classic A team of Avenger people to like broader comic book people that maybe people hadn't heard of, right? Like, I don't know if any normal person had ever heard of fucking Namor, right?
At large, it gets lost in the weeds.
And on top of that, there's an interview with Kevin Feige today where he's like, not being able to get that Blade movie made me feel like a massive loser. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should, you fucking loser. Because if Blade was in that fucking Doomsday trailer, I would have been like, well, I want to see Blade fucking fight Doctor Doom. I don't give a fucking shit. I'll watch Blade do anything.
I mean, you got a hit of him in fucking Deadpool, right?
Yeah right. And it's like if you add super charismatic A-list like incredible character actors that people were crazy about, yeah, they'd turn up to see even one of them. But it's like, what do you do? What's the solution? Oh, no one in phase 2 or phase 3 hit that way. Bring Chris Evans back and fucking Downey Jr.
So
back.
don't forget. Okay, don't that with Cap walking back on screen. Don't forget too as well that this is a violent swerve from the Kang verse that was planned, right?
Yeah.
Everything Jonathan Majors had to go, and this was also a like break every glass situation.
So we finished that when we finished the fucking. When we finished the trailer, Paige was looking at Captain America, and she's like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "That's Chris Evans," and she's like, "What? He's so small." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess he didn't want to do the process of getting big again, so he's just gonna have the fucking hammer." So he doesn't have to get super huge and ripped because he hated that part.
He's not,
and it's like, yeah, man. Like it's not like shame on Chris Evans. He doesn't want to get huge. It reeks of like they begged him to get in so hard he didn't even have time to get huge.
I tapped out of this franchise. I said I'm not coming back. What the fuck, right? Yeah. I'm seeing some folks saying they should have just recast Kang, and I'm wondering, like, was he at all that interesting to carry what you're describing?
It has nothing to do with Majors and all that lawsuit stuff. It has to do with as soon as the Thanos level threat got beaten by a bunch of tiny ants, the audiences were like, "I'm out."
Well, what the fuck? Yeah, like, what are you building toward? Like, that's it. I'm saying, regardless of all the bullshit, like, what? I don't know what there would have been to carry this level of interest with that character, right? All the glass being broken, pulling out Doctor Doom and such, it makes more sense. And even then, you're still getting this like really like bland ass response. Side note, another part of the story here was the Pattinson Batman movie was like stalled for 6 years, I believe.
Yeah, what happened with that?
Development hell. What was the detail? I just saw that it was like it got delayed a billion times, and like whatever was going on with it to delay to 2028 was just announced this week, and hot take, probably, whatever. Like,
ask away.
It's not a question. I'm like,
say away. Swing away, Wooly.
Maybe Batman can chill for a couple years before we get another movie. Maybe that's
Wooly.
Okay.
No.
Maybe it's okay to live in a world where where we wait a little bit and then you get another Batman movie.
Wooly.
Maybe it doesn't have to be.
We need surefire bets over and over and over and over.
Maybe it doesn't need to be 3 a decade. Maybe it can be chill. Like,
yeah, Chris Wolfhart made a really interesting point talking about like the economics of the games industry, and the reason why everything has gotten so bad so hard is basically everyone's just trying to reach that magic pandemic number of spending, where before the economy was shit, but you had to be forced to stay inside your house, and like all entertainment is still chasing that, and it'll never be that high again. Like, never. Like, it cannot ever. So every single fucking minute is just cut off more of your own body to feed to the flame. And so, yeah, Batman can't have a break. In fact, we need twice as much Batman. So that we can make twice as much money.
Because for everyone who's currently saying, but it's been 6 years, dude, where's my Batman? I'm like, wondering, do you want a Batman product every so often, regardless of the quality? Or would you rather there be every once in a while you might get something, but what you get might be most likely solid?
He's in DiCKO. You can go DiCKO mode with Batman.
Because here's another thought, right? Supergirl just came out, and nobody's fucking raving about that. And that sucks, because now Superman, which was like a great standalone awesome thing is actually the beginning of another relaunch of a universe that is already fumbling after its first step, because that tripped up on the second film.
So,
and it sucks because Superman was so fucking good.
I think I talked about this with Hina and Ecto and Mint the other day, where you talk to hardcore MMO players, or you'll see their comments, because you don't talk to them. They don't talk to anybody. And they'll be like, this game has no content, after they've like leveled every single character to cap and done every raid and gotten every single achievement. And the only response to that is, how about you fucking go outside, you fucking psycho? Right? Like, what do you actually want? Do you want like a game to provide you with 12 hours of entertainment every single day for the rest of your fucking life? What is wrong with you? And I feel that way in a general sense about, I think, Cape fans.
Yeah.
Like comic book people. How many new Batman anythings do you need? It's been like 100 years. You can wait like a little bit for another Batman movie. I
forgot to even mention that the director and staff were also working along with the Penguin show, which was also pretty good from what what I've been hearing, and and the Penguin show, which is also in that universe, happened more recently as well. So, like, there's other stuff that's still coming out from it, right?
So, like, my brain immediately goes to super Batman fan, right? To which I will just enact the entire conversation myself. Hey, there's been like 100 years of Batman stuff. There's so much Batman stuff, actually, no one could ever read, watch, or listen to all of it in their lifetime. To which the response is, I have multiple times. To which I say, fuck off. Stop. Stop.
Yeah, it's and I think this feeling kind of only applies to like your Batman and Spider-Man level like institutions. Yeah. I think there's a top point here where because there's definitely characters where something comes out and it's really good, and okay, let me again, and I said hot take at the top, right? But like Dredd was a phenomenal movie. I really liked it. It sucks that, you know, that's all there was, but that's the kind of thing where it's like, if you know we can get something else that's good, and that however long that might take, if there's something that can happen there, it would be nice to see it, right? It would be nice to see more of that, for sure. If there is a time frame that I feel like you have to hit this release number in, and like this, no matter what the quality is, you just got to shit it out, it becomes Star Wars. It just becomes like you want to see the character no matter what, and it's just I'm just trying to say that, like, effectively, if the shit is gonna suck, then you're better off without it. I'd much prefer to it not existing. I don't want to know that, like,
I think it's really like almost naively optimistic to live in a world where somebody's halfway through a project and goes, this one sucks, cancel it.
Well, but there's certain franchises, right? Like I'd say like Predator is amongst one of Alien. A lot of those movies, there are parts of these IPs that are like, no, we're going to be hitting something every 3 to 4 years, for sure, right? You got to use the IP, use it or lose it, whatever the case is. Otherwise, you're wasting money. You know, you might as well sell it to someone otherwise. And sometimes you're going to get something good with it. Sometimes you might not. You're just going to roll the dice. Who the fuck knows, right? If we're in the Goop world, then Alien is going down that road. But hey, Prey was cool. All right. What about the other stuff around it? I don't know. But it sucks that you have to think about these franchises in this like continuity sense, as opposed to, yo, that was one good movie. That was a good movie. That's cool. I like that. That was good that happened. And it can't just live on its own in this way, you know? So this problem that the MCU is having is like not unrelated to the idea of like, hey, it's been X amount of time. Where's my next Batman?
Yeah, so for example,
these are connected problems.
all creative and artistic mediums are having to deal with the digital world that we live in the continuity of art. So like, preservation for everything sucks, but it's still better than when there was no such fucking concept of preservation as, well, that statue exists over in that location. You want to go look at it, you got to go fucking look at it, right? How many dozens of Batman movies do we get to 100 years from now before people start going like, that's enough Batman? I think the answer is like, you could do it forever because people just want the same thing forever and ever and ever and ever. No, and it's hard to put it's hard to create a rule for like, you know, what the right number is and what the right frequency is. What I will say is that like if someone does a pretty solid job on something and then they have an interest in saying something else or doing something else, like if you're planning a franchise out where like already you have like a trilogy or so and you already have different directors lined up because you're like, we can't waste time, we have to hand this off to different people, we just have to get it going. You're gonna make garbage probably. No matter what, you're fucked immediately out of the gate. It doesn't matter because the people involved in the vision, none of that ever mattered to you. All that mattered was milking the cow, you know. If you're willing to, like... This bat cow's getting pretty tired, man. We talked about 3 fucking Batman things today! Matt Reeves Batman movie, DiCKO, and Absolute. One of those is really cool. And even when you do an amazing job, like Dark Knight, for example, that doesn't mean that everything after or before is going to live up to that. That was 2 of 3, right? And that was the strongest example, and the others were not as good. Man, it's really hard to do a good movie trilogy. I'm like, man, like that concept on its face is just, wow, it's really hard. I can think of... Hit me. Let's go. Good movie trilogies. Let's go. Solid trilogy, top to bottom, no fucking original qualifiers. Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. Original Star Wars, okay. Those two are just... like, okay, those are slam dunks. I wouldn't include Alien. I would not include The Matrix. I would not include Back to the Future. Back to the Future's close, but that third one's kind of... But now we're getting... How far back? We're going fucking 50 years in the past now? Dude, I had to go back to the 80s to get, like, a close one. Oh, man. Terminator didn't make it. Spider-Man didn't make it. Indiana Jones is close, but that second one's kind of weird. I'm not a fan. Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. Those are good. I heard. I haven't seen John Wick 3, but people like John Wick. I heard those are consistently pretty good. Toy Story. The Toy Story movies have been pretty good. Yeah, okay. Guardians, sure. Super Unhappy Man says the Fistful of Dollars trilogy. I would like to disqualify Fistful of Dollars from being a trilogy because one of those is just an unauthorized remake of a Japanese film. Like, just straight up. Getting your Kurosawas going, yeah. Like, that is not even its own movie. But the point, I think, is made in that it's quite difficult to land a solid trilogy. It's very hard. Yes. Like, games have that problem, too. 100%. The first trilogy of games I can think of that is like a slam dunk top to bottom is Metal Gear Solid. And the second one is Okami, but that's cheating. Obviously the Vengeance trilogy, obviously. You know, Mr. Vengeance, Lady Vengeance, Old Boy. All this to say that, like, these are not unrelated problems is what I was getting at. And restraint is probably the only way to salvage anything you have. Because I don't believe that people could not be won over with a really good MCU movie
I think there's enough residue and there's enough that people still give a fuck about that you can do it, but you can't fucking do it at the pace you've been going and continue to think people will give a fuck. Because the worst thing that could happen is not this coming out and bombing. It would be it coming out and being pretty good, but people are so exhausted that they don't give a shit.
So I think my example of Falcon and Winter Soldier sums up like the issue with the formula, right? So the first phase of the MCU up until Avengers, right? I thought that each of those films, even the ones that were like mid, were like solid 7s, right? So I was willing to watch. I'm willing to blow like a couple hours on watching Thor. That was fine, right?
Took a minute to pick up, but yeah.
Because I liked First Avenger and Winter Soldier enough. I was like, yeah, okay, fine. But once I got to Falcon and the fucking Winter Soldier, and I'm sitting there going, wow, what a waste of fucking time. And it's stricter on TV shows, because I watched that fucking thing for like 9 hours.
Yeah, it's a much longer commitment.
I was like, wow, what a waste of fucking time. The spell of I was up to date with everything is broken.
Also, yeah, there also was the Falcon movie too, so
right.
So
like it's very similar to like certain types of gacha behavior and like MMO behavior and battle pass behavior, which is like as soon as the spell is broken of I have everything or I've seen everything or I didn't miss out. Mm-hmm. Well, now you have to do something really big to win me back. And I've just been waiting. And I think the reason why they're pushing Doom and Tony Downey Stark Jr. Hard for Doom is that functions for a lot. And so we got to bring everybody back. Yeah. Well, they loved Robert Tony Down.
Yeah.
What? I can't.
RDJ,
what the fuck?
just it's fine. RDJ, it's okay.
Towny Doney. They gotta bring back Towny Doney, okay?
Pat Sundown Jr.
Yeah.
The other part of this, then the last thing I was going to say here is that like there's the fact that
sorry. I just saw somebody say Tony Starkey Jr.
Rudy Tooty Jr. The really shitty part of this too as well that we're not even talking about is that once the MCU becomes the all-encompassing Hollywood beast and that it replaces everything, you scale up and Marvel is now a film company and you have hired and you have this many jobs, this many roles to fill out, this many productions to handle. You scale up, and you can never scale back down because we have to continue operating at the size of Endgame forever now. And only talk about going up from there.
Well, the line's up here. We got to just keep that line going. Like,
exactly. And so now you have an obligation to maintain this end game trajectory, and that's fucking impossible because, like I said, restraint, nope, not going to do it. Okay, well, a million fucking, disasters in the meantime. But you have to keep up this pace of production. And the back end of that where you kind of get that... It always sucks when you have an excuse that's also like, well, what we committed to this, they became that company, this is what we're doing from now on, and now how many jobs are tied to this? We have to continue this way. Is like, well, it shouldn't have been that, right? That was a stupid decision to begin with.
I think the level of desperation on display for your media franchise is directly commensurate with how strongly you feel the following sentence while watching one of the trailers, which is, oh, wow, he looks so old. So when you see Patrick Stewart in the wheelchair and you're like, Jesus Christ.
And then Ian McKellen next to him.
And you're like, fuck, they're just oh man, fucking, it had to be these guys, even though they're like 90 years old.
They're corpsing out. They're corpsing out in the chairs. It's
like, bro, rough. Patrick Stewart was an older guy in '89 when TNG came out.
All the marketing with Deadpool and Wolverine was like, I'm forcing him to do it one more time, and yeah, I mean, of course, it's a nice paycheck, but truly, it does really feel like Hugh was like, I need this chapter of my life behind me for my own sanity.
I hope this is a real memory and not my own brain tricking me with a dream or something like that. But, like, I remember prior to Deadpool, Hugh Jackman saying, I will never do another Wolverine thing.
He said he's done. Said he was done.
After Logan, right?
Yep.
And then Ryan Reynolds bugged him. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll do this one. This one looks fun. And then after the movie, he was like, yeah, I'd do it again.
Did he?
Yeah, I believe he did.
I didn't. If so, I missed that.
And I what a fucking.
Damn. Well. Anyways.
So you're not a big Star Trek guy, right? But you know Worf, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Michael Dorn is on TNG, and he's also a main character in Deep Space Nine, right? He comes in on the 3rd or 4th season to Deep Space Nine and becomes a main character. So Worf actually has like more episodes of Star Trek than Michael Dorn has, I think, like the most episodes of any character in Star Trek, right? Because he's across 2 series. And he was at a convention a couple of years ago, and he was describing how he was sitting at home, and he got a call from his agent. And his agent was like, they want to talk to you about coming back to Deep Space Nine for Worf. And he's like, I don't want to fucking do it. Because Dorn and Spiner had to do like 6 hours of makeup before every day of shooting.
Yeah. Fuck that.
To get the prosthetic and the maid. So those guys became good friends because they were in the chair next to each other for like the entire from 6 a.m. to like fucking noon before shooting started. He's like, I don't want to. It's like, fine. And he agreed to take the meeting. And they take the meeting, and he's like, I don't want to do it. And they're like, here's what we're offering to pay you. And they slid the little paper across to Michael Dorn, and he looked at it, and he's like, I don't want to do it. And he slid it back. And then the motherfucker across the table from him took out a pen and just added a 0.
an entire 0.
And gave it back to him and went, yeah, when we shoot and when we start.
God damn, dude. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay.
But here's the thing:
that's the answer. That's the answer. But they're paying Robert Downey a motherfucking $1 billion to be in this movie.
The desperation.
High expectations have to be for box office.
Desperation zeros go crazy, bro.
You're spending nation level GDPs on singular actors.
The whole thing rides on this. Again, glass broken, right? Glass broken. All the factors coming together. Yeah. Well, we'll see what the fuck happens.
I can't imagine being like some fucking starving child in some like poor country, finding out that the American like toy industry movie man who's the robot is making enough money to fucking feed every generation of your family to the end of time.
It's been this way forever, bro. It's been this way forever. It's just it's been this bad.
While they wear like a cast down thrift store sweatshop Iron Man t-shirt.
Oh yeah, here's your Hulk fists and your fucking Doomsday movie special popcorn bucket. You know. Okay, hold on. I've been holding it in, but I really gotta pee. All right,
I gotta pee too again. Fuck it. You know, I could, but I want to.
Okay,
I want to.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's good for you. This conversation makes me think about a meme that I saw a while ago. I guess it's unattributed because I can't remember who brought it up, and it was gaming YouTuber in the late 90s or early aughts, and it was some guy just like, oh, I'm mad about video games, and then like gaming YouTuber in the 20s, and it was just a photo of Lennon holding a controller with flames behind him.
Yeah, it'd be like that. But they're fucking killing physical discs, bro. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, man.
What are you supposed to do? It's bullshit. Anyway.
Let's play DiCKO on your phone.
Just dick up. Just DiCKO. One more here, and I will say this is a story I added, but I didn't read it because potentially spoilers, I don't know. So you can navigate this one, but I saw it and I thought it might be relevant. Evil Requiem cut one of Leon Kennedy's favorite lines and agrees that Capcom has robbed us with its removal.
Yeah, I saw Nick was talking about this. You got the line ready?
I don't. I didn't read the actual story.
Oh, man. Oh, I can't. I need the specific.
Because I don't know if it's spoilers or not.
Oh, there's a moment where you fight a spider in that. And Nick had a line where he was going to be like, man, that was an itsy bitsy pain in my ass. But it was like, so he was super mad that it didn't make it in.
Oh, fucking boo. Okay. Yeah, you fucking.
Well,
cowards.
you know what? I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Nick Estolfos. That's wrong. Nick Ephistopheles. I don't know. He should just record it on a good sounding microphone anyway, and then people can just mod it in
and just do it. Yeah, that's great. Okay, whatever.
Nick Estolfos. That's it. Yeah.
If you got a letter, send it over.
You can send it to Castle Super. Oh, I fucked it up.
CastleSuperBeastMail@gmail.com.
I got excited.
All right, let's take one over.
I got excited for emails. Can you believe it?
FromSoft fan and AK says, "Dear Headslop Dads, it felt gay at the time, okay? Last week, Pat was playing Life is Strange for the first time, hearing it was super gay, only to find out it's not nearly as gay as more recent titles. It was not nearly as
gay as I wanted. I thought it was
I told you. I warned you. Yeah,
I know, but I didn't believe you. I chose not to believe you.
So more recent titles like Signalis and Deltarune, right? It made me think...
Deltarune is maybe the most like actively homosexual game I've ever played in my life. It's like...
Okay, because I mean,
like
Undertale.
You play Deltarune, and then you play something that's like more straight coded, and you're like, "This is head slop." Yeah,
because Undertale was quality gay, you know.
No, everyone in Deltarune is gay. Okay. Gay as the day is long.
Okay, yeah. So the premise here being that it made me look at how at the time it was one of the gayest mainstream games we had.
That's right. That's why I thought it was gayer.
And not everyone recalibrates for 2026 when they talk about it.
That's what happened.
So do you get annoyed when people, or get confused when you see people gas up an old game as super scary or super innovative or well-written or whatever in the present, when what they really mean is for the time it came out?
So people have to...
Are you guilty of doing this yourself with old games?
So I am not guilty of this. I have made such a strong effort forever to always try and think about the time that something came out in.
1,000,000%.
And like people like you'll talk up FF7, right? And you'll be like, "Oh my god, it's incredible." But you also have to be like, "Okay, listen. The comparison of FF7 was to Final Fantasy VI. Let's compare the two. Let's compare what was on TV. Let's compare etc." Right? Like, of the time is of value.
No, I am playing multiple PlayStation 1 games and before on the channel quite frequently these days. Of the time is mandatory lens for me to apply to everything I'm playing here.
Here's a specific example. Old horror games, even as far back as like the fucking PlayStation 1, some of them still hit in terms of scares. And I know this because Signalis is scary. And Signalis is just a high-end PlayStation 1 game. Right? Metal Gear Solid 1, the voice acting for the time was absolutely revolutionarily unbelievable because it had voice acting instead of not. But the voice acting in Metal Gear Solid 1 is still uniformly excellent.
Yes, it's so interesting because I'm thinking about like the quality of like scares, so to speak, and I'm like, just realizing, thinking back on like Silent Hill 2, how little of a fuck I give about the scariness, and how much I think that game is brilliant because of stuff that's not that.
That might be the most interesting one of this discussion by far, because Silent Hill 2 was strongly disliked by Silent Hill heads at the time because it wasn't as scary as 1, and it focused too much on like subtlety and themes, and it's boring.
It's so good and interesting for not scary reasons, and I don't give a fuck about scary things, so I loved that. It was really fucking quality, and when I think back on it, I think that's what I'm remembering, you know? Themes and such.
Yeah, themes, yeah.
So no, the lens is mandatory, absolutely.
You have to. And sometimes you get caught. Sometimes you're like, bro, I love this movie. It's so funny. And then you watch it again 20 years later, and you're like, I was a teenager. It's not as funny as I remember.
And then you fast forward to now, and you're watching Arcane, and you're like, you see Vi hitting on Caitlyn, and you're like, well, of course, like, you don't for one second believe that this character was ever straight. You know?
Oh, like, I never believed that ever since the day I saw the original piece of art with the haircut.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, you move forward in time, and it's just like, it's not even remotely close to where this Life is Strange era was at the time. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Big gay punches. Let's take one over here.
Paige is having that happen with Mass Effect. She's going. She met Jack.
Oh yeah,
in Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Why can't I romance Jack as a lady?"
That's insane. Jack.
And I had to explain that BioWare's staffed with a bunch of pussies of the era who hid their balls away because of the Fox News coverage.
I mean,
because like Jack is like overtly lesbian romance coded.
Yeah, or like just super bi. Like, I could see super pansexual character with someone like that easily, free. Like, you would have to fucking pull a Persona ass story to go tell me why that's not the case. It's crazy how much you feel the cowardice.
The Jack romance in Mass Effect 2 is het slop. Like, it is.
Oh man, that's a wild one. And feeling that news at the time then had to come in, and which, hey, funny enough, as I mentioned Persona, there's your Yosuke moment, right?
Yeah. Did we talk about that?
We did.
Yeah. I don't like it.
They weren't ready.
I don't like it. Yuri Lowenthal has the chance to do something really funny. Oh, no, wait. The voice lines are all still there. Yeah, okay. Just mod that shit back in. Just mod it back in.
It's not Yuri Lowenthal in the new game.
No, it's a new guy, but the voices, the sound
very
likes
close.
are
sounds
really
very,
so
very
yeah,
close.
like day one, Persona 4 Rewind, fucking Red Pill Yosuke. There it is, done.
Okay,
just jam all the fucking old lines in there and have them kiss at the end.
But then you got to send Yuri a check, and in the margins it has to say like for the gay stuff. You know,
yeah,
he's got to get paid for that. You can't just put in like the new voice actor and then cut out Yuri only, and then you know what I mean. Like you got to So, all right, let's take one over here from Bobby, who says, "Hey guys, Bobby here. I've long mourned the loss of cheat codes in games, whether extra dumb fun or helping unlock characters without a save editor, etc. For years, I've personally blamed the rise of achievements in games for taking it away from us, even in single-player only experiences. Do you think this is the reason for them going away, or some sort of compliance issue as games have gotten larger? Also, what are your favorite cheat codes from the past, if any?"
Okay. Well, one of the reasons cheat codes are gone is because they used to just be dev shortcuts from the debug menu, but now that you're making games on better hardware, devs don't need to be putting in their own cheat codes to test shit.
There you go. So the term debug menu already tells you everything you need to know. This is something used to make testing easier, right? Whether it's access to a bunch of levels, access to a bunch of sound effects, access to displaying sprites, or just creating a sandbox environment, you know, to test assets in. Like that was 100% a QA function. In a lot of, you know, generations in between then and now, there would be like a debug menu that would be something that you just couldn't possibly access unless you had a dev kit. And there's a build that would have access to that stuff. And as of a certain candidate of release, you have to have all that removed. So there are compliance reasons why that shit is just not allowed to be in the game at all. There's a point where you've got to take it all out, even if it's dev kit only, right? I do. It sucks, but like, yeah, the culture around it then got adapted by, I'm going to say Midway. I give Midway most of the credit for making cheat codes like a fun bonus thing for the end user and not just to make testing go smoother. Because everything they did with NBA Jam and with Mortal Kombat and that stuff.
But that was because it was part of the culture that games would just have cheat codes.
Exactly, above and beyond, especially with like arcades as well. So they take full credit for that. As far as like the best codes go, I have pretty fond memories. I'd say one of the strongest I remember is like, it's crazy the amount of hoops you have to go through. But in Sonic 2, going to the sound test menu and putting the sound effects in order to play the right tracks to then unlock, and then you go back into level select and then you unlock in the sound test to get supersonic. That shit was super cool. And then it's like, not you go through this, you do all the different sounds, and then you go in and then you play the sound effects, and then you go into the game and then you collect 50 rings specifically, and then you can access supersonic. I thought that was cool as shit. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
And
but now with how complicated and big games are nowadays, like, you can just put all that time into like an actual secret thing that people have to dig apart and find, yada yada.
Sure, yeah. And you know, for all the footage of Jonathan Blow sitting in a room that I can handle,
you saw that? Oh man!
For all the darkness surrounding him over the sound of Soldier Boy, I did appreciate some of the secrets in Braid and like how those are implemented as like post achievement things. I liked that at the time. I thought that was pretty cool.
It sucks for indie game developers because like the two indie game developers that got like lionized as like the wave of the future were Phil Fish and Jonathan Blow, and now that was a long time ago, and that shit is just dead. It's dead now. Who made this game? Supergiant Games, the whole team.
It's
together.
Indie Game the movie, man. Them two, Edmund. It was crazy. It was what an era. What I would say too is like something that marks the transition, because modern games definitely don't feel like, cheat codes are gone, but secrets and omake exist, right? And I feel like,
can you use an English word for omake, please?
Bonus little hidden extra content.
Thank you.
Right? I feel as if Snake Eater was like right on the line, where it's like, okay, those aren't codes, but it is definitely a secret extra funny thing that you can take out the end by fucking with the clock, right? By there's so many little bonuses in that game and little secrets and hidden things to find that are not putting in a Konami code, but it's still, it feels like it takes the place of what used to be old Midway arcade style codes. You know, those are some of my favorites too, as well, I'd say. All right.
I can't remember any specific codes at all. I think the only code that I can remember off the top of my head is somehow getting a Dan Ferguson managing director of Acclaim Frugality in Mortal Kombat 2 for the Genesis. Or the character would fucking explode and they turn into fucking Ferguson. And it was like, what the fuck?
I mean, obviously, shout-outs to Akuma and like the insanity of actually trying to earn that on credits, all because of a GamePro magazine. All right, let's take another one over here from a coward.
Oh, I love a coward. I like that they're honest.
A coward,
unless their cowardice is about not being honest.
All right,
about being a coward.
Well, this is. I appreciate an honest liar, but I hate. Fuck. I fucked it up. Damn it. You did it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Dear, blame it on the yellows and floor pie.
Yeah, hey.
Okay, so my quotation in there is all about Tetris 99, for the record.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Unlike you to take an aside to explain away an inopportune statement.
We were playing Tetris 99 and a bunch of assholes joined Team Yellow, and it was their fault. The Pat elevator incident.
Oh, fuck this. Fuck this.
A couple years ago, I organized a friend group. You already know, or...
Yeah, I've heard.
Okay. To go to MagFest, and in the middle of the night, I had to run down to the lobby to grab some pillows and blankets. As I was heading back up the elevator, a group of people got in with me, clearly having their own conversation. Can't see them properly because of the stack of what I'm carrying, but I think I recognize the voices. Thinking it's someone I know, I look over, and then I look down, and lo and behold, it's my favorite streamers, Pat Starzette and also Peach Saliva. Flusters, and half asleep I go on to have a conversation. It goes something like this. Hey, are you Pat? No, that's not me. Mumble. Oh, a beat where I turn away thinking he wants to remain anonymous. Yeah, I'm Pat. Oh, I know. A much longer beat where no one talks.
This is a different elevator story than I thought they were describing.
A much longer beat where no one talks, not even his friends, as I wait for my floor. We get to my floor. I have clearly exited. And as the elevator doors are closing, I turn around at the last second. I love your door closes. To this day, the social interaction has lived rent-free in my head multiple years as it gives me chills when I think about how bad I flubbed it. It has done untold amounts of psychic damage to me and changed the way I interact with people. For Pat, it was probably Tuesday or whatever. Anyway.
I don't remember this shit at all. Okay, so I thought you were talking about a very different elevator incident. I don't remember that shit at all, but it does sound, because I will add the intonation of what this would have been, because I always make like a huge effort to, whenever somebody asks me if I'm Pat at an event, be like, oh, hi, pleased to meet you, and do all that. So here's what I would have sounded like. Hey, are you Pat? No.
Right.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go.
Because I'm small.
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought this was going to be talking about how I can never remember which one. It was either KZ or Dan Video Games or one of those guys who saw me in an elevator at Too Many Games, and when I left, they were like, "Who is that Pat-looking tiny freak?" Because they didn't know I was super tiny, and like the answer is, it was me. It was me.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. Look, I mean, we literally just last week brought up resting woolly face, so it's just what it is, folks. But we assure you, you're fine. You're good. It's totally fine.
Listen, you gotta be I'm gonna be so real. You gotta really, and I mean really, cringe it the fuck out for the memory to last, right? There's one guy that I remember running into, and he fucking stank, dude. You just fucking stank like B.O. And I was like, and then I was like, don't tell me your username. Don't tell me your username. And he's like, hi, I'm such and such from your stream. And I recognize the username. I'm like, cool. Fucking cool.
Look, there are a handful. There are a handful of people whose stories are crazy. The interactions go so crazy that we totally do remember and still think about them. Yes, but they're in the extreme minority, and you yourself don't have to worry about it unless it was you.
Unless it was you.
In which case, you should worry about it and think about it a lot, actually, because what the fuck? But yeah, even Gary the other, just now, was just kind of like, yeah, that's that happens. We walk by, and especially in a, shall I say, melanated environment like Evo, people are rolling up, just being like, yeah, yo, what's up in a minute? And we just dap it up, and we're in there, and I'm like, yeah, what's good? Da-da-da-da, bouncing through. But if you know what you did, and I know what you did, and that shit still sits with you, Yeah, you should feel worried about that.
Like at that same MagFest, there was a guy who tried to shake my hand while I was peeing at a urinal, and I don't remember what he looks like or what his name was.
No.
But I do remember going, no,
That's a bad one.
No,
that's not a good one. Yep. I made reference the other day to the time when the person came up and asked for a photo, turned on the camera, and it was one of the old cameras of an actual digital camera. So it showed you the last photo that was taken, and that photo at the time was Liam eating food from far away. And it was just like, why did you take that photo of us eating food and then come up
from far away? Have the balls to take that photo from 5 feet away.
It's like just mid-chew, just and like, yo.
Like that sad Keanu, or like,
you didn't have to do this. You could have just said hi. Yeah. Anyways, there you go. They actually close out on a different question saying, I'm a coward. What are your favorite 90s sci-fi space opera series? I'm partial to Stargate and Babylon 5.
I like Stargate and Star Trek.
I feel comfort watching Quantum Leap. I really enjoy Quantum Leap, and every time that came on, that theme song and everything just kind of put me in a nice, cozy mood. I knew he wasn't getting home, but I wanted to see,
And he didn't.
I also, just because of the way it worked on the schedule, caught a fuck ton of Earth Final Conflict. Gene Roddenberry.
Really?
Yeah, I used to.
Really?
That used to be on a lot when I was.
I've
when
never
I was
seen it.
TV.
I heard it was dog shit.
Yeah, well, it's all I had. I watched.
Is that like a Mormon or a Scientologist thing?
I don't think it was, no, because it was Gene Roddenberry. You're thinking of Battlefield Earth. Yeah. That was the Scientology thing. Earth Final Conflict was just Gene Roddenberry doing his aliens in another context, and it was on Earth, obviously.
It's really funny that there's like Star Trek has like a sweet spot of Gene Roddenberry involvement, right? Like there's too much Roddenberry, and then there's not enough Roddenberry. The second half of TNG and Deep Space Nine just have the perfect amount.
And I know that like much time has passed, but I remember really enjoying Firefly and Serenity, so. All right. There you go. That'll do.
Have a good week, everybody.
Take it easy.